a coffee song. Just everyone sing along. Go and take a pee. This is a smoke break song. Lunch lady's smoke break song. She doesn't write them to be alone. That's just the way it's gonna be. So what are y'all into? Hey Richie, have you drank a few? I drank a few too. Back in '93. This is a Pete dance song. Everybody better be getting on. Sit on the pot and pee, even if you have a wee wee. Wee. This is the beefcake song. He needs coffee for his drive to be gone from the house so he can make some money. Money, money. This is an Aussie song. Everyone just sing along. We'll sing hey true blue and green with the cooey. This is a British song. It's a quite proper song. We will all go mad unless you sing along. Okay, that's long enough for our professional smoker. Come back to your chat, great host Lee. Hotbox that cigarette. Your song is over yet? My words I'm starting to forget because we don't ever sleep. Hit the like chicken, LL Cool Mom out. I'll be one ticking, LL Cool Mom out. Come on. Hotbox, that is an Aussie song. Everyone just sing along. We'll sing hey true blue and green with the cooey. This is a British song. It's a quite proper song. We will all go mad unless you sing along. Okay, that's long enough for our professional smoker. Come back to your chat, great host leading. Hot box that cigarette. Your song is over yet? My words I'm starting to forget because we don't ever sleep. Hit the like chicken, LL Cool Mom out. Hope one chicken, LL Cool Mom out. How?
Hello,
Hello.
hello. Hey girl, what's happening?
Not Gail, not right now. I'm just sitting having a cup of coffee waiting for Coburger. Can't wait.
Waiting for Cowbogo.
I can't wait to find out the late. I've missed all kinds, haven't I?
You've been a little
No.
busy.
Well, I'm dying to listen to the questions because I've got questions in my head as well.
That's what happens when you turn a year older.
Well, let me tell you, I've just said I've got questions in my head, but I forgot them already. But it will come to me.
You know, we always say, at least I say this to myself, and I know I'm not alone, that I should really write that down. I should write that down. No, I'll remember it. No, we don't fucking remember it. Nobody remembers nothing. We're
No,
too
I'm
old for
gonna
that
get
shit.
a little notepad, honestly,
Yeah.
for these nights, because sometimes if you're doing something and it just comes in your head and you start thinking, don't you? You're chopping away at the carrots or whatever, and you think,
Uh-huh.
oh, I'm gonna ask that, and you don't because if you forget.
Because you forget. Yeah. And I don't think a notepad would help. Do you know how many notepads I have? And they're always sitting around and I'm always writing them. I think what we need is just a magical button that we just push, we talk into it, and then it comes on whenever
That's
we,
it. Make life
yeah.
so much easier, wouldn't it? Although I've got an idea because we've got a human version of one of them. Lunch lady, she's
Ah,
our brain.
she
We
is the
should
brain. She's the brain.
go it throw it to her and say, "Listen, this is what I want to know. Can you remind me?" And she will, won't she? Won't you, lunch lady? Here. Come on, Gail, help us out.
All right, let's see who is here. Who's here? Oh,
Miss
wow.
Barbara. Hiya,
Miss
Barbara.
Barbara. Hello.
Lizzo. Here she
Lizzo.
is. Lunch
Oh my
lady,
God,
you
Lizzo
rang.
has been burning. I will tell you guys, I'm gonna tell you a secret about Lizzo. She didn't tell me I could. and I don't do this very often, and I'm super excited because I just see some mail coming to the door. But anyways, Lizzo's burning the midnight oil with Coburger.
Oh,
Yeah,
love it.
girl is all over Coburger like white on rice.
That's what we want because she can remember. I
Yeah.
can't. I'm not a bit of good. I'm just part of the furniture.
Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. There's 2 packages out here. I'm wondering if any. I bet you
Where?
that's my new rug. And I wonder if this is little girl's testing supplies.
My God, hurry up, open it.
Well, I'm
Is
not
it from
going to.
Temu?
I don't know. Oh, the rug. Yeah, Maggie, I was going to surprise you guys that I did get a Temu rug.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? Don't get too excited because sometimes the shit.
I don't need you being negative like that, Maggie.
Well, I'm just telling you the truth because I know what you like when you open it. You'll go, fucking hell, fucking Temu is shit. Not fucking going there again. That's what you'll.
Well, Lunch Lady did say the rugs were good, and it is
Oh,
my rug,
what a rug.
and it feels good, but I'm not going to
I've
open it right
seen
now.
Lunch Lady's rug. So, if it's like that, you're laughing. You'll
Well,
be
I'm going to
amazed.
tell you what it is. It is a William Morris rug.
Oh
Because
my
I'm
God.
that posh. Okay. And it's for my
Oh,
entryway.
oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. I am so
You're welcome.
posh.
I know you are with your rug. Is it going in your vestibule?
And yes, and with my wallpaper.
Oh my
My
gosh.
wallpaper.
We will have to pay to enter your property
Yes.
very soon.
Yes. And I'll make sure to put a I can't speak like
Put
you.
it up.
So I'm
Your
gonna
lunch
put
lady
it.
said, mine is gorgeous. It's room sized. What's that mean? It's massive.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Is
like
it?
it goes in the
Oh
living
my
room.
God.
Like mine's
How much
small.
did you
Mine's
pay if you don't mind me? Are they expensive? Get 'em one. Get 'em
hello,
one. I'm the same as
Joni.
Lainey.
Lindley. Well, you have to
Hi,
get the wallpaper
Joni.
too, okay?
No, I can't be doing with wallpaper. I can't
Oh my
bear it. I
God, I
have to
love
do
wallpaper so
twice.
much. I can't stand it. I love it so much.
Oh, it
Thanks
looks
you guys for
gorgeous. It
being
looks
here.
gorgeous in yours. I see loads of lovely wallpaper, but I'm too scared. I hate
Oh gosh.
change.
But you just if you don't like it, sit with it, have a discussion with it, have a coffee with it for a day or two, and then you might become friends. And if you don't, you just pull it
I
off.
do. Oh no. Lunch lady said, oh my God, $35. How much is that in pounds?
It's less than pounds, right?
Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? See what I mean? It's what?
It's
See, I told you, Lee, they've got some great stuff. You've just got to find it. Have you opened
yeah.
it?
No, I just left it over there. I don't have time for that. We're doing Coburger.
Oh, right.
Lizzo says, Maggie, did you see your birthday post on her community page?
I didn't. You know what, Lee? I only seen yours before. I was quickly looking, and then the phone went, and everything went out my head. Because I just don't ever notice posts or anything. I promise you, I really don't. And hang on a minute. I've obviously been tagged in it. So why haven't I got any? You know, where you get a little mention.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I just
haven't got
I
anything.
just figured
I only
this out.
seen yours before.
I just figured it out that there's a mentions button. So you just push that button and you're just like, oh, that's
Yeah,
where
I
everybody's
seen.
at.
Oh,
Okay.
have I got to click on it?
You can't,
Yeah.
I don't know. Megan, what do does it say anywhere on my body, phone, YouTube extraordinaire? No. Everybody knows I'm
Shut
just
up,
winging it
Lainey.
here with the script. Tell them, Jay Brad. We just have a script here. Nothing to see, people. Nothing to see. Hello,
Are you
April.
digital? Are you April?
Good to see
See what I
everybody.
mean,
Thank you guys for
I've been
being
here
here.
2 minutes. She's giving me a hard time already over the rug. I want you to just have a peek at the rug there. All right, will you do it at the end?
We will do it at the end. Well, no, I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe. I don't know.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. I don't know. Maybe.
Listen, I don't like to make promises I can't keep. Okay, Maggie? That
Well,
rug
what if
may
I
sit in that
remind you
damn
then?
bag for 3 years. I don't know. No, it won't. But we'll talk
Okay,
about that later.
let's go.
Let's go. Lindley says, has anyone else heard that Bethany may have seen Koberger taking off his clothes outside their house?
Mm, no.
I'm looking for answers.
Oh, come on,
Hi,
Lee.
Digital.
Get your fingers going.
Yes, I have heard that.
Have you?
Yes. If we remember, so how
Oh, God.
it was it last year? Are we in March or April? What the hell?
March the 20th.
March. Okay. So wasn't it last spring that the defense wanted to talk to Bethany? And so they were trying to summons her to come back to Idaho to get some kind of uh, um, have some kind of interview with her, because the Daily Mail had put out that Bethany had seen somebody either inside or outside the house. I haven't looked it up. This is just what I know about it. Uh, a man inside or outside the house that was taking off clothes or naked or something like that. Well, the defense didn't put it out like that. They just put it in because they filed a motion for it, and they put it in that they wanted to talk to her because she had information that was oh God, what's the word? In other words, she exculpatory. So she had I can't even hardly say the word
Don't even know
exculpatory
what it means.
evidence that would basically, she had evidence that would help
That
the
would
defense.
seal and dealy.
Yeah, that no would
Oh,
help the
wow.
defense, help get Brian, that only
Oh,
she could tell. So, and we knew it had something to do with that night, right? So the defense, and so she sent, because she has her own lawyer. So through her lawyer, she said, I'm not coming back until it's time. Well, this is what Law and Order something said about it. When all that was going on, the defense didn't know that the prosecution was going to file for a grand jury hearing, and both of the surviving roommates had to come back for that. So whether Bethany was just like, fuck you, I'm not helping you, or knew already that they were going to have to come back and testify to the grand jury or whatever, she, through her lawyer, said, I don't want to do it. Well, then she was told, you're going to be fined $500 and so many days in jail if you don't do it. And she said, well, I'm not doing it. Now, at this point, we don't know if she's in school or if it's a money problem or what, So anyways, they ended up going to her and having and got her interview. So I think where's she from? Nevada. And so they ended up going to her, which is how I think it should happen anyways. I mean, especially if it's a money deal. If it's a money deal, you wouldn't want to. I mean, I wouldn't want my kid going by herself. I'd be
no.
like, I'm on that plane too.
Yeah,
But why should they have to pay for it? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So they
yeah.
worked it out. But yes, what's funny is we haven't seen any motions about it since then, or not to say that we won't. Hi, Halsey, True Crime.
Oh my gosh, I saw the selfie that Brian took after the murders, Jolie said.
Oh, can we talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Oh my God, what have I missed?
Well, I've got it. I mean, everybody's got it. It's out there.
Well, I
Um,
haven't been on to see. Oh God, I
let
can't
me
get
show
over it.
you. So they did put, this is what I'm going to ask of everybody. Let me just get this out there and say it, and then I'll be done with it. We have to be very, very careful with everything that's coming out now, as far as
Yeah.
listening to the 911 and trying to decipher it and slowing it down and speeding it up, and where you're getting it from, because y'all, we live in the age of deception, and everybody is gonna, I mean, there's some stupid ass people out there. You never know if what you're listening to has been messed with, and people are so computer
Yeah, of
savvy
course.
now that they could
Yeah.
add things to it and you don't even know, or take away things from it and you don't even know.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say is just be careful when you're listening. Try to make sure you're getting the original from a reputable source. And then if you are going to slow things down or speed them up, make sure that whoever you're doing it with is a reputable source too, because
Yeah.
don't be fooled by what people can do online. It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
It's
You
easy to
you
do
could add
anything like that.
you could add beautiful bodies to a beautiful face
Yeah.
and catfish people, like what I've done, right?
Like me. Yeah.
That's what we do here. So, anyways, I want
Oh,
to
it
get
was on
into this.
court TV, Lee.
Yes, I want to get into this picture.
I
I
love
think
it.
Lindley says, makes me wonder now with the new dropped phone activity, did she snap a pic? Well, it does say that she did take a pic, that Bethany took a
Uh-huh.
picture of what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Oh my God. Does anyone else think it's dragging to this trial?
Well, the deal is the defense is trying to keep the picture that they're the ones that dropped of Brian Koberger out of trial because, and let me just bring it up.
Oh, I've
Let
got a
me.
terrible feeling that it's not going to go to trial, Leanie.
I think I don't know. I'm not feeling that way so much now because, like Jay Brad said, they have to approve that. He may not even be offered one.
Oh,
I
yeah, I'll
mean,
do that now, JB.
yeah. So they have to approve him. They have to offer him one, and then I mean, y'all, this guy is I think he's more full of it than Ted Bundy was. That's just my opinion.
Mm.
Um, and I'm allowed my opinion. Whether he did the killings or not, and I believe he did. This guy is really into himself,
Oh,
and
God.
he thinks he's smarter than other people. And he's probably smarter than me, but I'm smart enough not to go and kill people because I'm smart. All right, let me pull this one up. I think this one will show. Yeah, let's talk about this. And I'm only going to talk about it for a few minutes, you guys, because I think everybody's gone through it, besides Maggie. And everybody, has got their take on it, and everybody's dissecting it. So I don't want to talk a whole lot on, or bring up a whole lot on what all came out. All right, don't you start. Don't you start. Hold on. Right, don't you start, I said. Let's here, let me bring this up so you guys, for those that haven't seen it, I know Maggie hasn't. Let's see, share screen. Let's do this one. How's it looking over there, guys? That doesn't help Bill, that just helps me. Okay, let me see. All right. Mags, you there? You listening, girl?
Oh, I'm listening.
All right, let's hear this. This is from March 20th today at 10:06 a.m. and it's from Yahoo News. This is not my work. We are just using this for fair use for all those things. Maggie, if you mind, read it because I can't see the chat or read the banner.
Again, what did you say?
I said, will you read the banner because I can't see chat?
Yes, I will. So I'm going to wait till I get to the beginning. Right, here we go. Fair use disclaimer. Copyright Act of 1976 gives allowance for this content to be used for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research.
So don't come at us, YouTube. We are posting it in chat and it's scrolling across our screen. We're using this solely for fair use. All right, here we go, guys. Listen to this.
Investigators are looking at a selfie of Koberger that was taken just hours after the killings. That photograph shows him having the quote bushy eyebrows that were described by the victim's surviving housemate. So listen to this. The revelations were among the 40 new court filings that were released this week by the judge who is overseeing the case. Koberger is accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle. All 4 of them were stabbed to death. Investigators found a military knife sheath under one of the victims, and they used a small DNA sample on the sheath to narrow their search for a suspect.
There's the picture, Maggie, but I've got a bigger picture that I could blow up for you guys. But I'm telling you, there's a couple things I want to hear in chat what you guys think about this picture, other than it just being totally gross. We know that. There's a couple things that I noticed in this picture. Let me finish this and I'll come back to chat and then we'll talk about it.
To Koberger. The defense wants the judge to exclude the partial description given by a surviving housemate of a tall masked man with, quote, again, bushy eyebrows, who was walking past her the night of the murders. They argued that bushy eyebrows by itself is not enough of a description to qualify as evidence. Prosecutors say that they want a jury to decide for itself if that description is accurate, in part by showing them this picture that was posted on X by New York Times reporter Mike Baker. Prosecutors say that the selfie was taken from Koberger's phone on November 13th, 2022. This is only hours after the homicides. At 10:31 a.m., showing his eyebrows, they will also introduce Koberger's driver's license, which does show his height to be 6 feet. Koberger's next scheduled court appearance is scheduled for April 9th of this year. This is for another motion hearing. The trial is expected to begin in August, and prosecutors have said that they will seek the death penalty if Koberger is found guilty. Now, that knife is still missing in a filing released that was just yesterday. Prosecutors say Koberger bought a K-bar knife 8 months before the killings, and the evidence turned up in a search warrant, which then directed law enforcement to seize Brian Koberger's customer click activity that was pertaining to knives and accessories from Amazon. In studio, I'm Nikki Torres, Fox 13 News.
All right. So I want to, let's see, let me get that off. I did get that off. Put us back up. All right, I'm doing good here. What do you guys think? I know that wasn't a great picture, but I have a bigger picture that I want to show everybody.
He looks like he's just at a shower.
Yeah, and when I blow the picture up, you can see the shower in the background. Now, I don't know if that's the shower from his house. We don't know anything. I mean, I would only assume, right? Because we know that he is a fanatic about cleaning. So I can't imagine him taking a shower anywhere else but his own
He
home.
took the shower curtain with him to sit on, JB says.
That's one thing that Lizzo and I were talking about too.
My God.
That
I think he definitely sheeted up in that car and stripped
oh
off
yeah,
and thrown his clothes inside it, wrapped it up and disposed of it somewhere. Oh my God.
he does look proud of himself. He absolutely does. And listen, you guys know how I am. Hi, Lolly. Get there
Hiya,
safe, honey.
Lolly.
Thank you for listening. You guys know I have an obsession with the shower curtain. I mean, I've told you guys this from the beginning. That shower curtain has to be out of my, and it has to be perfect. I mean, it just does, or else I just get the hippie jibbies. If you are, I think he's more of a clean. I imagine him to be more of a clean freak than I. Obviously I don't wear gloves, you know what I mean, to wash dishes or even clean my toilets. I don't do that. There's no way this man is not going to have a shower curtain. There's no way. So where did it go? Let's just be honest.
It's obviously he must have used it, like.
I think he used it. He had to have used it for something. And what does make sense to me is because
did the blood splash up when you got showered and he had to get rid of it?
There's another thing. Like, was he scared that some kind of DNA was left on it when he
Yeah.
came home and showered? I think what's going to tell the tale, though, you guys, is whenever we hear of whatever it is that he has been buying in the stores. Like if he's buying drop cloths or plastic, the plastic kind of drop cloths, then you know that he covered his seats and probably as much of his car on the inside as he could. But if not, then I would think it would be safe to say that the shower curtain was used for him to sit on in his car.
Mm.
Is there
You got a bigger
one?
picture of that, Leanie?
Yes. Yes. Hold on just a minute. Let's look at. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
Linley. I was thinking that the other day, and that's one of the questions. Does anyone think that he's leaving little clues?
I think that's a great question. I think just knowing what I think I know about him is that he never thought he would get caught. I just think that if he did not leave that knife sheath, you guys, he would not have gotten caught.
Yeah, I said that
And I
last
think
night.
he
I thought,
purposely did leave clues because he didn't think he was going to get caught until he had his
yeah,
oh shit moment of I left the knife sheath. Because
yeah.
what you guys aren't hearing, a lot of people say that came out in those. Now, I'm telling you, it's going to take me probably 2
Oh,
weeks to get
did he?
through.
Did he know he'd left it? Did he do it on purpose? And he just wanted
No,
to
I
seal
don't
the
think it was.
case. He
I
just.
don't think. I don't.
Oh
I mean,
God,
I
that's a
don't know, but
dangerous thing.
I don't think it was a calling card. I just don't. I mean, that's just dumb. But I mean, even the smartest people make the dumbest mistakes sometimes. But
Mhm.
what people aren't really talking about now, mind you, it's gonna take me like a week and a half, 2 weeks to get through just these new filings. I skimmed them, so I kind of knew what was going on. But not only did he buy a K-bar knife and with the knife sheath, he also bought a sharpener for the knife. That all came the same time, the same buy. Now, what defense is trying to put forth is that he didn't necessarily buy it. Maybe it was a pop-up. You know how you get ads that pop up?
Yeah.
Well, usually you only get ads that pop up. And you guys know this, that if you're talking about it,
Mm.
then yeah, your smart devices hear you and you're like, damn, we were talking about sheets. Those sheets popped up the minute I got on Facebook.
Mm.
Or if you're already looking for sharp objects or something like that. I mean, I have never had a gun or a knife pop up in any of my shit because probably
No.
will now because it's not something I buy or look for or even talk about. I have no reason to.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing that they aren't talking about. It's in there. After the murders, I forget when they say what time they said. It was soon after the murders. There's also a line in one of the motions for the Amazon thing that he actually was looking to purchase on Amazon just knife sheaths.
God.
Why would you look for only knife sheaths? Listen, you know what we're
Because he
going to do
wanted to
next
get it and say it was part of
and
that it
say, yeah,
wasn't
I
it.
got mine. What are y'all talking about? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I want to do next week. I'm going to give you guys a heads up for Wednesday. Wednesday, some of us are going to rack our brains. I know Lizzo, JP, Lunch Lady, Max, me. We're going to rack our brains and I'm going to come up with all of the evidence against him. Okay.
Mhm.
And then what I want to do after that is because you hear the pro burgers out there saying, oh, that's just coincidental. It's just well, how many coincidentals are we going to give before the bullshit meter goes off the edge and we're like, wait a sec, nobody's this unlucky in life.
Do we know if that selfie was posted to any social media? If so, we could be telling the partner, good job, thumbs up, digital says.
I don't, at this point, digital, I don't put anything past anything anymore. I'm blown away. And I'm also like just now realizing I have always said through every crime thing that I follow or whatever, whoever's talking to me about it, everything is not put in the PCA. But I didn't realize just how fucking much they leave out. Um, we're finding all kind of shit out that you would hope that if you're gonna accuse somebody of something that you would have all this. But damn, people, damn. I'm not I'm in no way, shape, or form anywhere near being amazed anymore of the stuff that's coming being dropped out of this case because I mean I'm glad about it. They've indicted him on murder charges. I want them to be able to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt that he did it. But I'm amazed. So it wouldn't shock me. Hello, Bill Clinton. How you doing? Um,
Hey, Bill.
so that's what we're going to do next week. That's what Wednesdays is going to be made up of. We are only going to go over the evidence, and we're just going to play it one by one piece of the evidence, and then what we're going to do is have chat and Maggie and whoever and me say try to defend it. Say so he was out looking at stars that night, right? So that's one of the things,
Mm-hmm.
right? His alibi is looking at stars, which is really, really, really weak, right? That's not even an alibi. But so then I could defend that by saying, you guys, sometimes when I get scared or I get pissy or my anxiety, it doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I do get in my car. Now I'm not
Yeah.
going to park it anywhere in a field because I watch too much crime. I'm scared.
Mm.
I'm side-eyeing everybody now and looking in my rearview mirror, but I do drive. I really, really, I lock on my doors
I
and I'll
used to.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that to me, even though it's a weak alibi, I'm not weirded out by that. And I'm gonna tell you, things like him cleaning at nighttime, like the neighbor said that she would always have the vacuum going like at 2 o'clock in the morning and stuff. To me, that's not weird. I moved around my living room
No.
at 4 o'clock this morning and
Yeah.
vacuumed underneath everything and cleaned everything out. So, see, I can defend those little ones, but add another coincidence on top of it. Like what I drive on one of those nights that I am struggling with anxiety or whatever, and I'm driving, and am I going to drive around the same place over and over, even 2 times? No, no. I've got a destination in my head sometimes, and I get there and I turn around and I come back. Or I'll stop off McDonald's, grab me a Diet Coke. I'll turn on my music real loud. I'll drive out to my sister's house, but I won't stop. I'll just keep going. And then I'll drive past something that reminds me of my mom. And then I'll drive past this or that. You know what I mean? And I do my little round of whatever I feel like I'm doing. Maybe drive past my son's school or, whatever. And then I come home. I'm not doing it back and forth, back and forth.
Leanie, how long was it that he'd been in Pullman, that he'd moved there?
I don't remember that, to tell you the truth.
I was thinking that the other day as well, as how long has he been living there?
I honestly don't remember that. Was that his
And how
first
long have
year
the
or his
girls been
second
living
year?
in King Road? How long have they been living there?
Well, we know that some of them hadn't been living there that long because on most colleges, Maggie, your first year you have to live in the dorm.
Yeah.
You have to. And then after that, you get a choice. You can move off campus or you can stay living in dorms. So a lot of the kids that move off campus, they
Yeah.
usually just stay in that one place until they graduate. But I think I remember that Kaylee moved in late to that house. Like she was the last person of all of them to move in there. I'm not sure
I'm
though.
interested to see when he moved in there and
It
why did
yeah.
he go there?
Lindley says, okay, but they are stating that where he said he was stargazing was the site they found Ted Bundy's first victim. We looked that up 2
Oh
weeks
my
ago.
God.
Somebody said that in here. I looked it up 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Bundy's first victim was actually in uh, that he admitted to. We looked it up and that wasn't the place because wasn't it Peggy or somebody said that? Somebody said that and I
okay.
pulled it up and it wasn't. It was in Washington, yeah. BK had been in
Mm.
Washington since around August 2022. So not that long.
So now, yeah,
No, it
yeah.
had to be. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Maybe it was. I would have thought it would have been longer than that because he was already a teaching student. Hi, Rapper.
And is that why he moved there? Because of his job?
No, he moved there to get his PhD.
All right, okay. I can't keep anything
So
in my brain.
it's okay.
So the girls have been there since.
Probably
So
since their
how long has
freshman
Kaylee?
year.
Well, how long had Kaylee been there?
Well, so basically the diploma was handed to the family posthumously, or however you said that word, meaning after she died, but she actually had already completed her studies.
Yeah.
So she was either there for 2 or 4 years, however long, whatever degree she went for.
So she'd been in the house that long. So just
Well, I
makes
would think that
sense,
she
doesn't it?
stayed on campus the first year.
Yeah. When he'd set eyes on her. When he'd first set eyes on her. So he was going to the cafe that they worked in.
Yeah,
Mm,
that Xana and Maddie worked in.
mm.
Jay Brad says in April 2022, Koberger interviewed for a job as a graduate research assistant at the Pullman, Washington
Yeah,
Police
I'd have seen that.
Department. Yeah, I do think it was 2021 actually that he was there.
And it was his questions he was asking. People were mentioning that as well. The type of questions when he was doing he asked certain questions when he was doing the interviews or something, and they were a bit strange. Again, whether that's true, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true because the police department said that they would not release his application or why he did not get that job. But somebody in here did say, and I forget who, maybe last week or the week before, said that he was actually like a school cop or something like that and got fired from it.
Mm.
Lizzo said, wasn't it a lady they found there who thought could have been one of Bundy's? I'll look it up again, but I could swear that's what it said. I do know that the place here's a hole. So like I gave you guys, and I said the alibi to me, as weak as it is, I could say the same thing, right? But then I could also punch holes in this. I've never gone out at night unless uh, at stars. That's not to say people do that. But you guys, it was overcast that night. Look up the weather for Pullman and Idaho that night. It was overcast the whole night. There was there wasn't any stars out. So that's what's funny about that. Now they could say, yeah, he went to go look and sat there for a few minutes and then realized, that he wasn't going to get anything because it was still hazy or whatever. It was still cloudy. Well, then where did he go? Because we need the alibi. That's what we need. Rapper, why don't you ask Jay Brad? She's got a picture of a girl on her picture. But she's one of my good friends. You know her from Tina's. Lindley said, yes, that was reported on Fox News about his previous position of firing. Right. So if that happened, then the police department had to, security guard, thank you. They had to have known about. I mean, when they pull up, because they don't dismiss him right away, say, oh, no, you're not a good fit. They're going to run some kind of background check to see if he's even worth hiring or can he be hired. So That was probably on his record, I would think. But Polly Donuts, thank you so much. A cheap drink for you classy ladies. We appreciate
Oh,
you, Polly. Thank you so
that's
much.
lovely. Thanks, Paulie.
That means so much to us. We appreciate you.
Oh,
Let's bring this up. Because there's so much more to talk about. Let's bring this up. Okay. This one. Can y'all see it, Max?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Y'all have to adjust your sound once again. We're using this is not our work. This is News Nation, Fox TV, Fox Television. Anyways, this was put out 17 hours ago. And we're using it for fair use, for teaching, and what else are we doing? We're not reporting in, you know what? We're just here. Don't come in. You know what? Usually I don't, as long as I'm playing reputable sources like this, I never get anything from YouTube, to tell you the truth. It's only if I play someone else's content. And I try never to do that, because that's their work. Why would I use it? Here we go.
Joining me now, News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton, who's been covering this case since the very beginning. Brian, I know that literally up until this moment, you have been going through these court docs, and I think
Brian Enton is a little doll baby, I think. I just want to hug him, dress him. I think sometimes he looks like he's 4 years old to me, but he's got bushy eyebrows too. Them Bryans with their bushy eyebrows.
Yes, actually.
going through them. So there may be more shoes to drop, but let's start with what we know. And let's just start with that K-bar knife, because, I felt like the biggest moment in this case was that they found the knife sheath. And then the second biggest moment was that they figured out DNA on the snap, that little spot here on the knife sheath, the thing that snaps it shut. That's where that little tiny speck of DNA was, and that it matched Brian Koberger. But now we have him in court documents from Amazon buying a K-bar knife, a sheath, and a sharpener.
Yeah, more than 100 pages of court documents came out just within the last couple of hours, and this was buried in the documents. And you mentioned it. I mean, this is a massive deal. This is a huge, huge piece of evidence, something very, very helpful to the prosecution. They are saying that between March 20th and March 30th of 2022, so that would be about 8 months before the murders happened, that Brian Koberger, through his Amazon account, bought the K-bar knife, bought the sheath, and also bought a sharpener.
So what I thought was also interesting, and I may be, superimposing my thoughts over their documents here, but it felt to me that the prosecution was making its case by saying we did not cherry pick. We didn't cherry pick anything. What we did was we found a purchase of what was a murder weapon, similar to a murder weapon and a sheath. And also, we looked at other activity, and never did he seem to be a hunter. Never did he seem to be a fisherman buying this stuff all the time. It seemed to.
That's true, you guys. I mean, I'm going to stop it right there a second. I want to talk about that. Listen, my first marriage, my husband was in the military. He was an avid fisher and an avid hunter. I mean, every weekend something was going on, right? And he owned a K-bar. It was no big deal. But of course it wasn't in our house or whatever. I don't know where the hell he kept it. It was none of my business. Nobody cared. But my husband now, he doesn't fish or hunt. We don't own a K-bar. I need to ask my son. My oldest son is a hunter and a fisher. Maybe he owns a K-bar. I need to ask him. But I've never known anybody else to really. What, Maggie? What do you need a K-bar for?
Oh God, so won't be one in here.
I mean, no, really. I
Never
mean,
even heard of one.
what are we gonna do with it? Chop up onions?
Oh God, or a few carrots. I mean, it go through them goods because they look
Sharp, and he's got a sharpener.
Yeah, why would you get a sharpener?
So I think that's a really good point. He was not an avid hunter or fisherman. What would you need a K-bar knife for?
God
Now,
even
I will
knows.
say there are people out there that collect knives. My little brother collects them.
Oh yeah, I know people that collect guns
Yeah,
as well.
so I can understand that if they could prove that. Look, guys, he's a knife collector. The same time he also bought a pocket knife that he thought was real cool for his collection.
Mm,
That
yeah.
would make a little bit more sense to me. But again, just another coincidence, right? This guy's so unlucky. Digital says, so do we believe that he purchased a new knife sheath? And if so, does that mean he still have the knife? Well, in the documents, Digital Maniac, it shows within a week or two of the murders, he was on Amazon, and I don't think it says that he actually purchased one, but he was looking up knife sheaths, K-bar knife sheaths by themselves, and the defense wants that thrown out. So the question is, if you ask me, Maggie, if in fact he is looking up only knife sheaths, that would tell me that he still had the knife. That if anything ever happened, you could say, I've still got
Oh
my knife
my
sheath. What are you guys
God,
talking
yeah.
about? You know what I mean?
Why would he have why would he have the sheath without the knife?
Right. You
So
wouldn't need a sheath. Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that would tell me that he still had the knife. But, there's plenty of time for I think that if he had the knife, as weirded out as he was, if you believe that the police did see him cleaning his car in the middle of the night, and it's in the affidavit, so I'm going to believe it.
Mm,
Then, then I think he was wanting to get rid of all evidence, and he knew he either felt it within him or thought, something's going on. The two police in one state pulls me over within 9 minutes apart. Maybe he got a little, so maybe he got rid of the knife at that point. But who's to say? I don't know. I don't know if he actually did in fact buy one, or if he was just looking to buy one.
mm.
Welcome, Envision.
Tell you what, for someone so clever though to go and be even looking for these things on Amazon and to
Mhm.
purchase them. I mean, I'm like a 20-watt light bulb. Even I'd know if I was planning on doing stuff like that. I mean, that again, he could go as if I would go looking on there for stuff like that. If I was going to plan a murder, he could use that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I think we all know enough about true crime, but we're not going to know it like he knows it, because he actually studied forensics, and he's studying, all this shit. I mean, he's got a freaking bachelor's. He's got a what, e- undergraduate in sociology, and then a bachelor's in criminology, whatever. Anyways, listen, you don't buy your weapon off of Amazon, you freaking idiot, and you don't buy it anywhere close to you. You take a trip on over to Kansas to a some kind of store or something. I don't know. Dick's Hardware. Good Lord. Envision says, I don't believe he cared. He left it because he thought he had thoroughly cleaned it. Oops. And that's very possible. It could have been a calling card, because you have to wonder, is he really this dumb?
What I mean?
Is he really this dumb? And then I do believe him to be Papa Rogers on Facebook, and then just to be dropping all the evidence in chat,
I think maybe he might like the thrill of the chase, lenient,
maybe
and that he's really enjoying and watching them put it together piece by piece. He's sitting there going, "Yeah, you got that right," or "No, you haven't got that." I think he's getting off, and I think he loves it. I don't know, right this minute in time, that's how I feel.
no, I agree. Lindley says, I wonder if the sheath has a production ID on it. That would be interesting. I thought they did, like, like
Of
guns.
course it
They
would,
have,
yeah.
yeah. But would it match up with the sheath? I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
Me too, Jay Brent. Mine is case fillet knife. Oh, Joni has one. Okay. Um, Jay Brad says fact is he bought it and it's gone. Yeah, I believe it's gone now.
Yeah, definitely.
So if he bought it, make him produce it. Right. Right. Like where's your knife,
With
dude?
it,
Oh, I
yeah.
gave it away as a gift. Can we get the name to who you gave it to?
Yeah.
Keeping it as a token. I think he
Mhm.
wanted to. Of course. Why wouldn't he? Thank you guys all so much for being here. Listen, can you do me a favor? The only thing Maggie and I ask, please hit the like. It used to be we'd get 50 likes every time we went live. And I don't really push for them anymore, but damn it, I want to. So can we just
He bought
hit
what,
the like?
JB? The sheath or the knife?
It says right there on the screen. He bought the because he bought a knife sheath, he bought the K
Mhm.
bar, and he bought the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
he bought the sharpener. But in the documents it says a few days later or however long later, he was just only looking for a knife sheath. The movie Idaho 4 will probably be made like an Oliver Stone. I
Mhm.
hope not. I hope it's more of a I
Take
don't
care,
know. Hopefully.
Paulie. Good to see you,
Oh,
love.
Polly, thank you so much. Thank you for being here, honey.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
for the gift. We appreciate you. I hope it will be more like not like CSI, but like more like how they, really digging into how they I guess I would like to see something, even if it's a documentary of looking at it from an investigator's eyes. You know what I mean? But that doesn't sell as much as, having watching watching the whole thing unfold, with the murders. All right, let's get back to this.
To be just this one time that he bought this kind of weapon.
Yeah, they looked at all of the activity, all of the Amazon activity for several different time periods leading up to the murders. And what's interesting is the way we found this out is there's filings going back and forth between the defense and the prosecution, because the defense is trying to get a lot of this Amazon information and Amazon activity thrown out. Obviously, I mean, now we know why. It's damning to Brian Kohberger. So they've been saying, hey, the state is cherry picking. Some of this stuff shouldn't be included. And in those filings back and forth, that's where this massive tidbit was, right? Buried in the documents that Brian Kohberger had bought the knife sheath on Amazon.
Sure will be interested to find out what his answers are to where is that knife that you proudly bought. It wasn't in any of, well, we don't know, but I didn't see it on a manifest of any of the search warrants at his apartment or in Pennsylvania. I didn't see a K-bar knife, a knife sharpener, or a knife sheath in anything that they were able to seize from all the places that they searched of his. So it would be interesting if this had nothing to do with anything, then where's your precious K-bar knife that you spent all that money on, on Amazon back in March? And he, better have a pretty good answer for that. Let me jump to that selfie. It just sent chills down my spine to see him showered up and giving the thumbs up.
Can you guys see that? Does that help?
Do you want to send me it and I'll make it bigger?
Let
me see if I can get it. Let me look on Google. Give us a sec.
Okay. So I want to stop right here. Hi, Envision. So good to see you. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. There's a couple things that ring out on this picture for me. Now, I understand that you could take different pictures in different lighting and make yourself look different. I get that. I get it. But what you can't do is gain weight. Now they say the camera adds 10 pounds to you. I think that's a live camera. I don't know. But in this picture of Brian Koberger, and then the pictures, let's just say, of him doing his perp walk or him walking into court or even his first mugshot, they almost look like two different people, maybe fraternal twins. They look alike, but this guy looks old and drugged out. Thank you, Lindley. Jay Brad said a black sheath like that would look like a vacuum end. Yeah, but the problem is the black sheath was already upstairs underneath the body. So we know that that's not what he was carrying. Yeah, he just looks way white. His hair, definitely somebody is, listen, we all know this. When you go to court, you are being bought clothes that I think you either have to give back or you have to pay for them later. So you bought a couple of outfits to wear to court. They put glasses on your face to make you look smarter and to make you look more, I don't know. They put makeup on you to bring color to your face and stuff like that. They do all kinds of stuff to pretty you up, make you look. Y'all, this is a face and a body to me of complete strung out. I could be wrong. I don't know. But believe me, I've had enough family members that have been strung out that I recognize it right away. His hair looks more red in this pic. I wonder if it's a little bit wetter if he's got the VO5 going on. The mark on his hand. Let me go over here so you can see my cursor. So is this what we're talking about right here? And then there's this right here. Who knows? They don't look like cuts, but are they bruising? Is this part right here part of the bruise? I don't know. I don't think he would have cuts on his hand because I think that he definitely wore gloves, but that doesn't mean that the gloves would protect him from bruising. So you could be right. His hair does look dyed. Yeah, they're prettying him up. Is he right-handed? Do we know? I don't know. And I haven't seen him pick up a pen. Is he right-handed? Okay. Yeah, here's the other thing. If Maggie, the picture that you're wanting to put up, let me take this down just a minute. Maggie, the picture that you're wanting to put up of Brian Koberger, is there any way you could mask his face and just show his eyes for me or just zoom in on that part?
Give me a minute. I'll go back.
Yeah, so we'll take the regular picture and then the one zoomed in just on his eyes. Because in Dylan's
do you want a mask across his mouth and his nose?
If you could do that, that'd be great. But I want to be able to see his eyebrows because in Dylan's thing, she said that she knew it was a white guy. She went back and forth, right? Back and forth, questioning herself. Was it both eyes I saw? Was it both eyebrows I saw? I can't remember the defense is going to tear her up. You guys, the defense is going to tear this girl up, and I feel so bad for her because in the motions that were filed and released recently or yesterday, it says that she was like, I just can't remember if it was just maybe I saw one eye, maybe I saw both eyes. All I can see is that all I can remember seeing is the eyebrows. First of all, and people want to tear that up. Can you just stop? That man didn't stop and say, you want to take a picture so you can remember? No. He was hauling ass to get out of that house, y'all. She saw him that quick. And the one thing that stuck out to her was the eyebrows. So I was thinking, for me, and I blew the picture up on my computer, and I just covered his forehead and covered his mouth with my hands, and I was looking at him, and the thing that was, I heard somebody say, why couldn't she identify his nose, even if the nose was behind a mask? I'm thinking, how long do you think she's looked at him for? All she sees is these eyes that are set way deep into his head. And that's freaky enough, you guys. They do that on all horror shows. When you see Halloween stuff outside the house, the scary monsters and stuff, they always make sure to set the eyes back into the head because it looks scarier. And then she sees the eyebrows. I mean, I don't think I would notice how big or small his nose is. YouTube police, hello, Gary. How are you? You don't think she's a reliable witness? Oh, they're going to tear her up. They're going to listen. She's going to come, and I think some of the stuff she has to say is going to be good, but they're going to tear her up, and they're going to. I think if I was a juror, I would say, how much of this am I going to listen to? Because she has admitted to being drunk. Oh, Gary, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you're doing okay. Maggie will be right back, you guys, with that picture. Mags, are you back?
Just back, yeah, I've done it. Do you want me to put it up?
Yes, if you don't mind. All right,
Okay,
let's look at this. I just want you guys imagining this guy right here. Now, I don't think you can tell in people's eyes when they're smiling, right? You can.
He's smiling there, yeah.
And he is smiling. You could tell in his eyes he's smiling. But if you put your hand just over his forehead on your screen and imagine only being able to see those eyes, are you going to be able to tell what size his nose is in that?
No.
Are you going to be able to tell what color his eyes are? Because right now his eyes look really dark brown, even black. Not only do they look groomed, I'm well, Gary, I'm really well. It's so good to see you. Not only do they look groomed, but it looks almost like he's had a lift. And we know he hasn't had time. Well, he has had time for it, but I don't think he did that. But I think he's getting a really good wax job on the bottom part. So it makes his eyebrows look higher and thinned out. But I'm telling you, put your hand on your phone or whatever you're looking at over his forehead, because she said you couldn't see his forehead. All you could see is those eyes. Now, these are smiling eyes. But you have seen that blank stare coming from Brian Koberger when you've seen him in court, that blank, like, And listen, there have been witnesses, and everybody has shut up since the gag order, and we don't know who all's been called, that's going to be called for a witness, so everybody's just shutting up. But I remember one witness being interviewed, and she said, I saw him she had seen him in a mall one time or something, and he locked eyes with her, and he wouldn't stop. She even told her friend, don't be suspicious, but look at that guy over there. He's giving me the creep vibes because he's staring. Y'all, that gives me creep vibes too. Even if I feel like Beefcake is staring at me, I'm like, quit looking at me. I can't handle it. Don't look at me. Yeah, it's so, and these, like I said, I mean, I just keep putting my hand up over his forehead. These are definitely smiling eyes. But imagine those creepy eyes coming at you. Or even if, what are you going to see? So if all you see is that, what are you going to tell the police? Of course, all she's seeing is eyebrows. And it's dark. All right, Max, can we bring up the other picture?
Yeah, I was just trying to cover his forehead there.
Okay.
while you were talking.
It's just I y'all, this picture was taken at 10:34. Hi TLC, it's me. Good to see you, honey.
Hi, honey.
Y'all, this picture was taken before the bodies were even found. Tell me what he sums up. If he is in fact the killer, can somebody please tell me what he sums up?
The fact that he's done the job.
Right. Digital Maniac believes this will be a hung jury. I'll be shitty. Digital Maniac, that means you're here stuck with me for a whole nother freaking year. Yeah, he just looks proud of himself. And I'm telling you, I don't think he thinks he's getting caught. I don't. I just don't. Did you guys hear the other day when they or one of the last times they were in the courtroom doing motions, and I think it was a closed courtroom. When Ann Taylor had said something about the car being in Moscow. I mean, you can't deny it. It's there. Everybody knows it's the car. That after that hearing was over, like he stood up, and then instead of thanking the lawyers or, I'm nodding at the judge or whatever, like he kind of barreled out of that room. Did you guys hear that?
No.
So many coincidence for Mr. Dark Eyes that needs to be listen, next week we're going to blow it out of the water. We're going to blow it out of the water. Honestly, I didn't know guys wax their eyebrows. Absolutely. In fact, I ask Baby Chow all the time, Maggie, when he comes home, I'm like, are you sure you're not waxing your eyebrows? Because he has eyebrows. He's like, no, but if I needed to, I would. He said, I do shave right there in between them because I don't need a unibrow. He said, but I don't do not my eyebrows. It's like, boy, you got eyebrows like your dad. You're going to have to be waxing those things by the time you're 30. Because he's got the thick eyebrows. Like, I've got thick and wide eyebrows too. But his dad's got these crazy ones that like come out 5 inches. And I'm like, what the hell? Your eyebrows attacking me. Get the hell away from me. But anyways, listen, this picture is all wrong for so many different reasons. What do you think, Maggie?
To me, definitely he's had a shower, hasn't he? Now, I don't know whether it's the way I'm looking at his hands, but it looks like he's got a flesh-coloured fingerless gloves on, covering the top of his hands. You can get like that flesh colour one. And then his
Dolly Parton
knuckles
wears them.
are just totally white, aren't they? So is his hands cold?
I think when he did that, his knuckles are showing just like the blood leaving his knuckles.
And also, is that a shower curtain to the right?
See you later, Gary. Thank you for coming in. No, there's no shower curtain on there, honey. There's no shower curtain. You can
Isn't
see
that a
right.
shower curtain coming down
No.
on the right-hand side?
Oh, right here. Okay. I get what you're saying. I don't know. Is it, you guys? Is that a shower curtain? Is it a shower curtain?
Looks like a shower curtain to
If
me.
that's a shower curtain,
Oh,
if that
is that, see, look under his hand. You can see like something coming out. Is that something that's attached to the wall?
I can't see
Like
nothing
big
under his hand.
wall.
Let me
See,
stop the banner.
hands.
There, now we got the whole
Let's
pictures.
have a look at that now.
This little like triangle thing under his arm.
See under his hand.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like coming out, isn't it, from the wall? Is that halfway up the wall? You know where you put like your shampoo, conditioner, or whatever, and you soak. Is that it? And is the shower curtain like behind that, or is it something that looks like a shower curtain?
I think it's some kind of curtain.
because I'm looking out that I can't make that way the way he's got his hands. And that
Lindley,
underneath, how that works.
Lindley says, Mary Jane Doe, if he was a bingo card, we would be yelling bingo. Mary Jane believes less and less of coincidences. Wait till we come up with all the coincidences they're saying.
Oh, I'm
Looks
looking
like
at
a
that
shower
house. Looks
curtain.
double
Yeah.
to me.
So, and they say, and TLC says that some say it's the liner. Here's the deal. That's really weird because they said there was no shower curtain, which would be, I
So,
would think, no liner too, because some people use liners as shower curtain. Did
so
he
he's
take this
listening.
down after this picture?
Well, yeah. Well, no, because if he's got Resi in his other clothes, he doesn't want to get any DNA from whatever's going on there. So is that it? Oh, I don't know, because there was no shower curtain, it said, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or it just said they took a
No.
shower curtain.
No, she said there was no shower curtain on the shower.
Mm.
And I just don't believe homeboy's laying down
So
in the
where is
bathtub,
it
y'all.
then? Where is it taken?
Where is it? Right, where is it?
Because if we got a picture
Now,
of the bathroom,
the defense is gonna say that, you know, he didn't take showers. He was one of the guys. He's one of those guys that likes a good bath. Fuck you. He's 6 feet tall. I could just imagine baby child's 6'4". I couldn't even imagine my husband. He's 5'11", laying in a bathtub.
no.
It's been years and years since I've seen him in a bathtub. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Who's getting in the bathtub to wash their? No guy is getting in the bathtub to wash his hair. It's not going to happen.
So it's like he's leaving little clues to me, like he's in the bathroom,
So.
he's been showered, he's thumbing it up, he's smiling, he's got that look on his face. Are they, earpods? Or does that
Yeah.
go over his head? So he's talking to someone or he's listening to something. So he's listening to all the
Probably
news.
listening, waiting for the news. Yeah. Because we know wasn't it sometime after, it would have had to been after this picture was taken, that he went back to the house.
I agree with Mary Jane though. I don't think his eyebrows look groomed. I
Not
think he
here.
looks messy.
Not here. Look at pictures of him in court. He looks totally different. He's gained some weight. His hair is
So
being
he's
cut different.
changed his
His
eyebrows. you mean.
eyebrows
I get
are
what you mean.
completely different now. I'm telling you, he looks way different. And he looks like he's got a tan. Why? Because they're makeup him up. Digital Maniac says, what did Kaylee's father mean when he said he didn't have to go upstairs? Did that mean Xana was the target? No. Well, when they were talking about targets, like when people were asking, you know, was Xana or Ethan the target? Like, especially when it came out about Sigma Chi and everybody was like, oh, it was somebody from the frat house coming to kill Ethan. And that's what happened. Well, what Steve Gonsalves was saying was that's not true. I mean, because if they went in to kill Ethan and Xana, you know, they'd have never gone upstairs to kill Kaylee and Maddie. Matt, they were in bed. You know what I mean? So he's like, we need a critical think here. And we really do. Really do. Now, I told you guys in the beginning, I said, I believe that he went upstairs first and he killed Maddie first. And I think that was just a one blow kind of thing. I think and Kaylee woke up and then began hell. And then I think he left there and then shut the door and then went downstairs and ended up walking in on Ethan or Xana. I don't know which one, coming out of the kitchen, into the kitchen or whatever. And then that's how that started. But since we've been going through all this, and listening to y'all in chat talk, I mean, you guys have given me a lot to think about. Now I think, well, when he came through the door, we know that the DoorDash had already happened. So when he came through the door, because I still believe that Maddie was the target. When he came through the DoorDash had already happened. Was Ethan or Xana walking into the kitchen to put the drink and the food up or whatever, or going to the bathroom? And they saw him, so he had no choice but to go to them first.
And he ran up
See,
the stairs. Was
And
what she
then
was
after they were
saying.
done, and then he went up to the stairs and killed both girls. And when he walked back down, is that when Xana was crying? He thought she was dead, but she wasn't. And he went in there and said, I'm here to help you. And he finished her. And I don't mean that. That's just for lack of better words. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That sounded terrible. So I think either one of those scenarios will fit in there. I will always say that Maddie was, if Xana and Ethan had stayed in the room, they would have lived. If he could have just did Maddie and walked out, that's what he would have done. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I mean, I could be wrong. I really could. I don't see any hooks. So Joni doesn't see any hooks up there of the picture. Who knows?
But if you look at the top at the curtain, it's not going right up to the bar, is it?
Yeah.
So it's like something's hanging first. So there's definitely something holding it up. So it's got to be some hooks there because you can get longer ones. Well, I don't know if you can.
Well, let me just, why is he wearing a button-up shirt so early in the morning? I think he kind of dressed like that because I think because he's a teaching student, right? But also I think he just wanted to look smart. I just don't see Brian Koberger running around in a pair of basketball shorts and a t-shirt like the rest of the guys around here. I think he dressed the part. I just think that. And maybe he was a bath guy. Well, next week, Jay Brad, whenever we go over all the evidence that's against him, when we start going over all the coincidences, that's what I want you to bring up when I bring the shower curtain up. Where's the shower curtain? You're like, maybe he's a bath guy. Because eventually we're gonna run out of making excuses for why there's so much evidence against him.
I'm still trying to do this picture.
It's okay. I don't think his eyes broke. Yeah, we got through that. Bath guy, like bath houses. No, but it's still like even though I know you were kidding about that, but I still think, I think that's what the defense is going to use. That's what they're going to say. It's not like anybody can prove it or can't prove it. But when you look at the totality, let's look at that's what I want to do Wednesday. Look at the totality and how much of it is the jury just going to say, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, there's no way somebody is this unlucky. There's no way. There's no way somebody who's innocent could have this much coincidence to the murders. And I want to know, when I start laying it out, what all is being brought against him. Are you going to wait till the fourth coincidence, if you're the juror, to say, come on, are you serious? Will you wait to the fifth? Will you give him grace to the sixth? How long is it going to take you, using your critical brain, to think, all right, this is a line of bullshit. Nobody is this unlucky in life. Nothing is this coincidental. He was also a clean freak. He wouldn't take a bath. Agreed with that. Agreed, because I'm gonna tell you what, this is the truth. This is another secret about me, okay? Maggie, when I go stay at a hotel room, I don't care how posh it is. Do not think that I'm not bleaching out that bathtub. And I don't take
I
a bath.
believe you.
I do
take
not.
my own treats.
I don't do that. I don't do that, but I do check for bed bugs. And I don't sleep in cheap hotels. I would. I always did until my husband came along and he's like, are you crazy? Like, no, it's gross. But I always bleach out the bathtub. Y'all know me in that bathroom. Gotta have that bathtub clean. So you're right, Miss Barbara, and I can understand that. Hi, Ann's Place. I hope you're
Ann.
doing well and enjoying your son. Jay Brad says,
Oh, is he there now?
Oh yeah, he got there. Yeah, on yesterday.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Wednesday. Jay Brad said, "Do they have bathhouses still? I know they had them in Germany when I was there, but that was years ago." Oh, Mary Jane Doan says in upstate New York they have bathhouses. Let's go hang out. But I delivered to them before paper materials. Hi, Mac J. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Please, please, please hit the like, you guys. I see a liner at least, and the rings would be pushed over means nothing, right? But I'm telling you, I mean, they said there's no shower curtain. Now, to a lot of us in America, like I have a shower curtain and I have a shower liner, right? But I mean, he's a guy. Is he going to have just a shower liner? I don't see him having a nice cloth curtain hung up that he would have to take down and wash and wash and wash because he is
maybe
a
if he
neat
was a
freak.
clean freak, he would.
Yeah, yeah. So if that is in fact a shower curtain, we know that. And hey, it could. You know what? This picture. I don't listen. This picture could be cropped. This picture could actually show more, but what they put into the motion to have this thrown out and not be not allow the jurors to see it. How much you want to bet this picture's cropped? That whatever that is, whether it is a shower curtain and his phone and all that, I bet it's all in the picture. And I don't see any reason why it would be thrown out. I mean, this you could use this for a defense. This would be me if I was the defense, right? I'd be like, look at this guy. All he's doing is living his best life. He dresses nice, tries to keep nice. Do you see any cuts or bruises or black eyes on this man? No, you don't. How would one man kill 4 people and not have a mark on him? And 2 hours after the murder. That's what I would say. That's what they're going to say.
Probably say, yeah.
So there you go, Pro Burgers. Put that in your arsenal too. I just gave you another one for free. It's not a visit. It's fabulous. He's here to stay. I'm so happy for you. Did you hear the latest with Bethany supposedly at a hotel? Oh my God. When I was pulling up stuff after that, I saw I went on Facebook to see if the Goncalvises had put anything on their family page. If you guys are on Facebook, the Goncalves, and you want to, you can follow their family page. It's the Goncalves family page. And they put stuff there, different things that they're going through and things like that. So I went to go see if there was any update there or if Steve or anybody had done an interview and they hadn't. But I did see that where somebody in one of the chat said that Dylan was home by herself and Bethany was at a hotel, and the meaning by come down here meant for her to come down to the go to the hotel with her.
Mm.
Can we just stop?
Mm.
The things people are gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely on social media all morning. Yes, they were. You're right. You were correct. But you know what I've come to realize about that is, 'cause I thought about that a lot, and I'm not. But then, I mean, their whole world is social media, and um, and they don't really use text messaging anymore. It's an app they all talk through, and it's different apps. Like, what's that one app that they were talking about? Indeed or whatever. I never even freaking heard
I've
of it.
never heard of it. I haven't.
There's got
Forget
so
what it
many
was
out
called.
there that these kids, listen, I feel bad for parents today. They better stay hooked up because, you know, before we just had our parents would just listen on the other line or in the hallway outside of our bedroom door if we're talking on the phone. Shit. These kids got apps we know nothing about, people. It's scary. But why is he wearing a dress shirt on a weekday early morning? Good point. Good point. Maybe dressing up for his cameo. Wonder why. Why? So it shows him coming back to the crime scene and then him leaving. Why wouldn't he just stick around and watch it all unfold? The eyebrows don't make any sense. What's those lines around his eyes? Smile lines, I guess. Looks like a bad quality pic. Well, I mean, it could be. And not only that, I'm sure it's in a file it's in a file and it's been pulled up and it's been this and it's been that. And I do think that it's zoomed in. He doesn't strike me as a selfie person smiling. He doesn't even know how to smile. It's a fake fucking smile. He's not aging well. Agreed. The hair also doesn't look real. It explains why so many people knew something happened before the police were called. That's correct, April. That's correct. I see what my kids use. Good for you, MJD, because I wouldn't. I'm going to be honest with you. I just trusted my kids probably too much, and thank God that they were good kids. You know what I mean? And they weren't doing anything shady or to get themselves killed or in trouble, you know? But even my oldest kids, they didn't have all this. I mean, when my oldest kids were teenagers, cell phones were just coming out for regular people like you and me. So, but baby Chow, he's had a cell phone since he was in the 6th grade, and he's practically perfect.
So Lee, the
and
masks were absolutely crap. So I've just put blocked, just so
oh
it
yeah,
shows
that's
you
fine.
guys.
That's fine.
So put the 2 of them on to show how you can see he's laughing, and I darkened the bottom one up because it was nighttime. So
Oh,
just to
smart.
give
Yeah.
a bit of a
Yes. Okay.
difference.
So we can tell in the top picture that was just released, those are smiling eyes. We know she didn't see them eyes, but she did see them eyebrows. And especially since eyebrow is the new thing, right? Remember, people used to talk about lashes. They wanted their lashes. Everybody was talking about lips. They wanted their lips. They wanted the high cheeks. Now, the new thing for the last couple years, you guys, has been eyebrows. You've got to have the perfect. Remember, in our day, we all wanted the real thin eyebrows. Now everybody wants the real thick. So, of course, eyebrows she's going to notice. But not only that, they're fucking in her face. Are you kidding me? And the picture below, I think, would be more accurate of what she saw. But I think that he even has even more of a blanker stare. If we pulled up more pictures of him, it's just like nothing's there. I don't know. I think at least in that picture, he was kind of concentrating. I don't know. I doubt he owns a pair of jeans or a t-shirt. Me too. I don't think he does. What was he wearing in the car when he got pulled over? What was he? We'll have to pull that up and see what he was wearing in the car when he got pulled over. Was he wearing a button-up shirt, guys?
Was it like a reddy rusty one? Oh, I don't know.
Lily said they are also talking about an app Brian had on his phone that he used for exercising, running to count his steps and run in the background even when he was off. That'd be more telling than GPS. Right. It's called, it starts with an S. I just had it and it went away. It starts with an S, yeah, and it's bigger than
black. He was in a black shirt.
Is it long sleeve or is it a
It's
polo?
raining.
It wouldn't
No,
surprise me
long
if he's in a
sleeve.
polo.
Long sleeve. No, hang on. He's got like a denim looking shirt and like a black like fancy jacket. Well, when I say fancy, it's not like it's like a suit jacket type.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
want me
So
to get a picture and show you?
yeah, if you want to, that'd be great. Yeah, it's called oh, I forget what it's called. I just had it. Has an R in it, I think. Anyways, yes, it's supposed to be better than GPS. You guys? Did you guys his dark eyes remind me of Steven Stern's. You know, anytime something comes up and there's a horrible, horrible crime, and then, I always look at the mug shots and pictures of them, just to see that it's something's always in their eyes. Don't you guys think? They say the eyes are the window to their souls. And I think it's so true because to me, you can see evil in people's eyes. So I could see why people would be, why women maybe wouldn't be interested before he even opened his mouth. Because just the way you stare at someone or look at someone or the vibe, Um, but I mean, there's not one person that I ever even there's not one person that I've ever known to be a killer that I didn't think, God, their eyes look, there's nothing there. They just look evil and dark and
Mm.
scary. Go ahead, Max. Dead fish eyes. Yeah. Oh, imagine that. Put your finger over them eyes. Put your finger over that mouth and over that forehead.
I
Those
wanna
are
look
the
at his
eyes.
eyebrows on this now.
Now, see, he's already been, word's already out. It was a guy with bushy eyebrows. I think he's already been working on his eyes. He's definitely already cut that hair. Imagine those eyes.
Yeah, I think he's had to go with them eyebrows
With
on
the
that picture.
a mask over the mouth and possibly the nose and over the forehead, and those eyes coming out you.
Let me have a look.
That's scary. Like Gypsy Rose's eyes. Yeah, that's scary to me. While Maggie's fixing that, I do have did we finish this? Max, can you take that picture down just for a second? Are you working on that picture?
There you go. Hon.
Okay, thank you. Let's finish this one up while Maggie's doing that really quick. And then we'll try to pull it up with the mask over them eyes because y'all, he's scary. Scary. I love me some Brian Hinton. Look how perfect his lips are, you guys. You freaking cutie pie with your bushy eyebrows.
And being super proud, looking freshly washed right in front of the shower. And this was exactly at, was it 10:39, that photograph?
10:39.
10:31
10:31
a.m.
10:31.
November 13th, so the day of the murders. The murders happened sometime around 4 a.m. This is 10:31 a.m. I was looking at it really closely. It looks like maybe he's in the bathroom, like in front of a shower, if you look closely. And this was just sort of buried in these new court documents. We haven't really seen photos of him like this before, but they recovered this photo from his phone. And the reason that the prosecution is so interested in this photo is because of roommate Dylan's account that he had that whoever came into their home had bushy eyebrows. That was one of the main things that she said. So this is apparently the photo closest to that time period of when the murders happened. And the prosecution wants to use this photo at trial to show the jury so they can look at this picture for themselves and decide whether or not, he's got bushy eyebrows.
Wow, super clever, right? Prosecutors can say, this is 10:30 in the morning, and look at the bushy eyebrows that, couldn't have possibly been plucked 6 hours before if this is the guy that Dylan saw. But, there's the double entendre here, and that is he is freshly showered and proud. Why? 6 hours after the murders and an hour and a half prior to the 911 call even being placed. This is the photo he is taking of himself in front of the shower.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Sorry, guys. I was out there trying to grab a cigarette.
I think the most prominent question is, how did that sheet get there?
Shut up, Ann. Nobody cares. Are you back, Max? You know who has great looking lips?
No, I'm still
JLR.
doing it.
Oh my God, JLR. I
Just
do
the way
nothing.
he's looking, you see, so it's side shot, so it's hard to get. So I'm trying to make a mask myself.
Yeah, if you just want to put the black
The thing up
things,
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
black squares
You
over
know,
his
just
forehead
tap
and his mouth.
now. Okay.
And I want to ask a question. Listen, you're welcome to believe the man not to be guilty. Everybody's welcome. If you want to come in here and say, Leanie, I think he's not guilty. I'm not going to bash you. I'm not going to jump you for it. You think what you want to think. But I have one question for all those that, I have two questions. My first one was, please explain DNA and the knife sheath, which I do believe they have more DNA than just that, by the way, you guys, after all the shit that's come out. Please explain a knife sheath underneath a dead body with his DNA on it. And let me hear all the planting. Let me hear it. Who planted it? I want to know who was riding around with it in their car. And the other question is, would you spend one night in this guy's house with him? One night alone with no cameras, no nothing. You're just going to hang out with
No.
him for a couple of hours. Maggie, do you have that yet? If not, I'll go ahead and play this other thing and I'm going to go and smoke real quick and you guys can talk with Maggie about this, but I want you to look at these eyes. Look at these eyes and tell me, if you believe him to be innocent, then would you spend the night with him? Not in his bed or anything freaky. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about go hang out with him for a night. Go watch a movie together. Go ahead, Max. I'll BRB.
So I don't think it's easy to tell by this picture, is it? It's I don't think he looks as weird as he did without it. Yourself, what do you think? To that one, to hang on, and that one, to that one. You see? Going from one to the other. I mean, if you look at that, he does look like he's well pruned his eyebrows, because you can sort of see like a shadow. I mean, that could be just a shadow. It's like where he's, I don't know. He doesn't look to have as much eyebrow, does he? Especially on this left side. See what I mean? Up like he's took too much off. Don't know whether you can see, mate. I don't think you can. My cursor. Is that a mark on his right wrist? Can you see the right wrist? Is that a mark? Can anyone see that? Well pruned, April. I use some funny words. You know, like you prune your bushes. Can you see that mark on his right wrist? Like scrape. His eyebrows look different in every picture now. I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed them lines before. Have you? Wondered if you got Botox. I don't know. We probably got them. I've never met a policeman. Never. Well, a policewoman, detective, whatever, ever. They'd only have to say they were guilty and I believed them. Innocent, I believed them and cry something. I don't know. Do you see it, Joni? I don't know. Everyone was looking at this when it first came out. Oh, were they? Does look
So,
like a scrape to me, though. You know what I
so we
mean?
talking
What
about
do you
his
think,
wrist.
Lainey?
So we
Yeah.
talking about his wrist. Yeah. Some at first when it first came out, everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's a cut there." I believe it's a shadow,
Looks like a scrape.
but I mean, it could be. I don't know. Hi,
You know,
Wild
like when
Angel.
someone grabs hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, and it looks like we'd say a beefy, a love bite, whatever. What you call them.
Well, here's the deal. If it is a scrape, it had to have been a bad wound because this is what, how many months after the murders, you guys? No, this was 3 weeks after the murders because or 6 weeks after, 5 weeks after the murders. Anyways, it's 3 weeks after the murders. So it would have had, I mean, 3 weeks have already gone by. There would have been some healing
And
there.
Lainey, what month was that? This picture was taken.
So didn't he go to, this is when he was going home on break. So this was right before wasn't it right before Thanksgiving?
Right. So all I'm thinking is the dad looked like he's sweating and he's got a t-shirt on, short sleeve. I can't see his, but I just imagine. And he's in a shirt and a jacket. Is he hiding stuff? I don't know.
Who
Because his dad
knows?
looks red in the face,
Yeah, like it's too hot.
like it's hot, and he's squinting
Mhm.
because the sun. And yet he's dressed like that. Does anyone think? What you think? I thought it was right after. Oh yeah, that's right. It was not long after because the tab mentions the murders.
Okay, so he got pulled over. All right, he was stopped twice. Here, let's see. All right,
Couldn't it be nice lady had snow?
let me stop. Let's look at this really quick, you guys. This is CBS News out of Philadelphia on January 4th, 2023. This is being used as fair use. And he was en route to Pennsylvania with his dad on these. All right, so let's present this and just see what the two stops look like. Can we see it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Police released body camera video showing them pulling over Kohlberger and his father on December 15th. The pair was driving from Washington to Pennsylvania, a trip they had pre-planned.
So it's
Indiana State Police said Kohlberger was behind the wheel when he was stopped on I-70 outside.
His dad's wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Following too closely. Police say at the time, no information available for a suspect in the Idaho murders. That same day, a Hancock County, Indiana sheriff's deputy also pulled Kohlberger over, also for following too closely. Both times, authorities say he was given a verbal warning.
I'm with Lindley. I will always believe that, even though after this was let out, you guys, or after we got the footage from it, the Indiana State Police did come out and say that they were not working with the FBI and that these were not designed by the FBI. We know the police can lie. And I'm a firm believer, like Lindley, the chances of the same car getting pulled over twice, 9 minutes apart in the same damn county, it's not happening. No, and especially not this close to the holidays. It's just not happening.
So it wasn't warm then?
And
The
they,
dad looked like it was sunny, didn't he?
I can pull up what the weather was like. This is December, so it's a month
And it was snowing there though, wasn't it?
later, you guys. This is the 15th. He was
Oh,
look. They didn't say Hancock County, did they? Yeah, they did. No, they didn't. Yeah, they did. Hold on. He
what's it
got
like, JB?
Hancock, yeah. All right.
I believe Indiana knew exactly what they were doing.
Yep, me too.
No
Because
matter
it's
what
come
they
out.
say.
It's come out since then
Simon says.
that they had a drone in the sky, a couple of them that followed him all the way to
They were
Pennsylvania.
watching him. Yeah,
And one time they lost him
yeah.
and they found him. So, yeah, let me see what the weather was like. Weather.
Okay, Lee.
Yeah. December 12th, 2023. Well, we had a snowstorm that came in after this. December 29th. No, that's not it. Come on.
Well, I don't think it was hot, was it?
No, it
It
wouldn't have been
doesn't
hot.
matter.
But
So
here's
I'm
the
just
deal.
looking at him thinking, why is he dressed like that and he's not?
But here's the deal. It wouldn't have been hot for me or you. But Brian's living over in Idaho. His dad's living in Pennsylvania. Those two areas are definitely colder weather
Nice,
than what
okay.
they would have felt here. So, when you live in colder weather, you get kind of used to wearing certain
Yeah.
items and things
Okay.
like that, you know.
Mhm.
So, that's how I think I have to look at it.
Another question that I had as well, I was thinking about, you know, the phone call. It, I don't know if it's me or what, but something was missing. Like, and I think obviously he wasn't telling it and mentioning blood at all because he hadn't mentioned it to the girls because the girls hadn't seen it. He was shouting, "Get out, get out, get out." He didn't want them there. So they didn't see the blood, and he never mentioned it to anyone on the phone because it didn't need to be said, really. Or was it said that it was taken out and it's not it's not the whole, it's been retracted? We don't know because it does sound when you listen to it like something's missing, and the
Yeah,
way it ends and
Lizzo and I were talking about that. Hi, Diamond Lucidity. Lizzo and I were talking about that. I firmly believe there's stuff missing out of that call. Firmly believe it. But
do you? I do.
yeah, I do. I've listened to it over and over again. I was like,
Me
wait a
too.
second.
Yeah.
None of this is now it's not. You remember when we first read the transcripts that came out and we were just like, this doesn't make sense. It's got to be redacted.
Yeah,
And then
and it
they
was right.
released more, and then we were like, oh, okay, now it's starting to
Yeah.
make sense. Well, that's
Yeah.
what started happening with the phone call. Lizzo was texting me about some of it, and I was like, I asked her, I was like, do you feel like the call has been redacted because something's not right? It's just not right.
Yeah, I thought the
It's
same.
like, yeah. So, and then we read, wait a minute, we read on, was it yesterday that yes, it was redacted. It says in one of the things that the phone
Oh.
call is redacted. Yeah.
Oh, so it was? I
Yeah.
thought it just didn't seem right. And is it right? I don't know where I seen that that's not all the texts.
No, I believe that they don't have them all. So let's play this
Okay.
part of it because Maggie hasn't seen all of the recent texts and
No.
stuff that comes out. Digital Maniac says the cops charged Donna Adelson after successfully convicting her son. Might be the same with Kohlberger if he had help. That is correct. We don't know. I think there's a lot going on that we just don't know. We just have to trust the process, as they say.
Mm.
And that's hard to do, but I mean, that's one thing that I'm learning more and more. Just trust the process. All right, let's pull this up because this will give a little bit of um uh the new stuff that came out with the text. Let's see, let's put this one up closer. All right, and again, this is from Court TV. And this was oh, I must have deleted that one. Anyways, I'll bring it back up. I forget why I pulled this up. Oh, new evidence removed from the murder house. I wanted to go back. That's what I was doing. I was trying to get back to the back and bring up stuff that that maybe we had forgotten about, and I found this to be interesting. So I just want to take you guys back to some of the beginning parts and how long they actually had this house secured and did not break down the crime scene. That's what and then after this, Maggie, I will bring up the transcripts. Here we go.
Idaho students were brutally murdered. Surveillance cameras in the neighborhood captured crucial video which led to the arrest of the suspect. That video shows a white Hyundai Elantra passing by the victim's home several times before parking. Tonight, we return to the scene of the crime to retrace the path to gain a clearer understanding of how and when the killer entered the home.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us here on Closing Arguments. I want to begin tonight by talking about evidence. And let's begin with what many people consider the gold standard in criminal cases, DNA. DNA is great evidence, but it does have some limitations. We know DNA can put a suspect, a criminal, at the scene of a crime, but it's always circumstantial evidence. It doesn't prove the case. It's not direct evidence of the crime, but you can put that criminal at the scene of the crime. So it's very powerful, but has limitations. Because if you obtain DNA at the scene of a crime and you have it on a murder weapon or some blood that's on the ground, whatever form you have it in, that's fantastic. But you've got to find the source. So you have to compare it to some other DNA. And if the suspect you're looking for is not in the DNA database, there'll be no match. There's no match. If that suspect hasn't been arrested before, hasn't put their DNA into the system or had their DNA placed into the system, then you've got DNA, but you've got no match. So, we've got so many unsolved cases like that. You have the DNA, but the person's never been caught doing anything and they're not on 23andMe. That's why you need a suspect, someone to compare the DNA to. So you need other evidence. So I said, DNA is great, but has its limitations in solving a crime. Now, cell phones. These days, great evidence, digital footprints, what people are saying and doing and texting on their cell phones, amazing insight into the mind of a suspect, into the mind of a criminal. You know what they're thinking, what they're doing, what they're saying. You can also track where they are if they have their cell phone. But there are some limitations. First thing is you could turn your cell phone off. All right, you're gonna go commit a crime. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna have it on when I go to commit this crime. That way, they'll never track me there. Or you can leave your cell phone at home. We had a criminal defendant in a death penalty case who did that. Left his cell phone at home and used that as his alibi. Investigators found his burner phone, though. He was convicted. But again, cell phones, absolutely amazing evidence, but has some limitation. How about surveillance cameras? There are no buts about cameras, none. And the reason I say that is the camera shows you what it shows you. You can see it happen. If there's a surveillance camera that shows and records the crime.
All right, guys, I'm going to speed this up because we already know about all of this. Vinny, I just want to see the timeline. Thank you very much, Vinny.
Timeline of what prosecutors say happened during those early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. At 2 a.m., all the roommates are home after a night out. Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, is also at the house. The address is 1122 King Road. At 2:47 a.m., Brian Koberger's cell phone allegedly shows he's traveling south through Pullman, Washington. And right then, the phone stops reporting to the cell network. The affidavit states police obtained numerous surveillance videos from homes and businesses that capture a white sedan on November 13th. It's 3:26 a.m. when video captures what police say is Kohlberger's 2015 white Hyundai Elantra traveling westbound on Indian Hills Drive. This is 5 minutes from the victim's home. Starting at 3:29 a.m., home surveillance videos caught multiple sightings of that same car passing through the King Road neighborhood. Around 4 a.m. is when surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen wakes up to the sounds of what she believes is Kaylee Gonsalves in the room directly above her playing with her dog. Dylan says a short time later she heard who she thought was Kaylee say, "There's someone here." Dylan looks out the door of her bedroom and doesn't see anyone. At 4:04 a.m., Koberger's vehicle returns to this area for the fourth time. It turns on Queen Street here, moving eastbound past the crime scene in this direction. Past these apartment complexes, police say surveillance video picks up that white car making a turn. Then the vehicle heads back this direction towards the crime scene. At 4:12 a.m., Xana is using the TikTok app on her phone. At an unknown time, Dylan Mortensen hears what she believes to be crying coming from Xana Kernodle's bedroom. She opens her bedroom door for a second time, sees nothing, but hears a male voice saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At about 4:17 a.m., a security camera from this residence picks up distorted audio of what sounds like voices or a whimper, a loud thud, and a dog barking. The affidavit states that at some point, Dylan opens her door for a third time to look because she hears crying. This time, she sees a man in black clothing with a mask covering his mouth and nose. It's 4:20 a.m. when surveillance video again allegedly captures Koberger's vehicle. This time, it's seen leaving the area, driving away at a high speed.
They have this timeline down. It seems investigators have put this all together. You need to do it in this case. You absolutely need to. And it looks like they are there. If everything that's in that affidavit, they can bring inside that courtroom. Right now, let's bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter, joins us tonight outside of the crime scene. She's in Moscow, Idaho tonight. Chanley, great job putting all that together. My understanding is there was some more action today at the house behind you, the scene of these 4 murders. What was going on?
Yeah, Vinny, we arrived here. We were going to compile some new video and content for your show this evening, and all of a sudden, about half a dozen vehicles, mostly pickup trucks, showed up right here where I'm standing. They took down the crime scene tape and then one by one meticulously pulled into this driveway behind me. Right now, there's the private security guard company guarding the house, but here's a video of what they were doing. We observed them putting in the first things, these mattresses into the back of the pickup trucks, taking out bags of potential evidence like that. You see them putting into the back of the trucks, and also boxes, as well as wrapped items. You know, they would take brown paper material, wrap items that look kind of like stools or side tables or nightstands, that kind of thing, trying to cover some of the evidence up. Potentially, maybe there could be some biological blood type, what we presume maybe to be some blood on some of this type of evidence. So they were trying to shield it. There's a red cover on that piece of item you see there, shield it from the media standing around the border of the crime scene. They spent several minutes here. I'd probably say around 30 minutes going in and out of the home before they pulled off here, where we could get a better look at kind of what they were putting in the trunk there in that video as they drove past me here. But it's interesting. They're mostly the Idaho State Police investigators. These are some of the same familiar faces I've been seeing here at this crime scene, Vinny, for weeks. When we were here back on week 1 of this investigation, I was noticing especially this investigator in the blue shirt and some of these familiar faces here again today. And this is again activity here at this home after they halted the remediation, the cleanup of this crime scene a week ago today on defense motion, and the judge entering an order preserving this.
I want to stop this right here. And now I remember why I brought this up to you guys, because some of you that started following the case, and then when it just started dragging on and crazy stuff was happening, it kind of lulled. And then now it's picked up again because a lot of evidence obviously is coming out. And also, please tell me that I am not. Oh, good. I thought I was muted. Anyways, I just wanted you guys to see for those that maybe haven't seen what the beginning looked like when they were cleaning out the house. I will say that some people, it's never been put out when the bodies were taken from the house and how they were taken without any news cameras around. I think that there probably was there had to have been somebody out there that saw that happening. You will hear in the news, I've just heard it recently since all this started coming out, that some of the boxes they had wrapped and some of the things that they had wrapped up, that they were actually bodies coming out. You guys, I just don't believe that's true. If Lulu was here, I think she could definitely give us more on that. I don't think they would wrap it. They would put them on gurneys or something, because they still have to be respectful to the bodies. So I don't think they would be put in a cardboard box, and I don't think that they would be wrapped up and shoved into whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, it's still a crime, and they still had to have autopsies done. So I don't know if the bodies are still in the house at this point, because we never saw the bodies removed. But like I said, some people are saying now, I've seen it in some posts, and they brought up pictures of what could have been a body, because it looked like a body. I was like, can we stop? Can we just stop that? That's just gross. But I think if there were anybody outside the house, I think there would have been police standing next to them or something and saying, we're not filming it. We're just not filming it, So that's why I brought this up. I wanted you guys to see some of this stuff. I don't know if it's going to zoom in on this, but the truck that's the closest to us, the bluish grayish truck right here, that bed that is in that, there are pictures out there, and it's been zoomed in, that there's quite a bit of blood on that mattress that can be seen through whatever tarp or whatever they have on it. Mary Jane Doe says, putting, or somebody said, I saw in chat, that they, people found it weird that they were actually using regular pickup trucks to take stuff out of the house. I think having to do it all over again, they probably would have rented something different for this to be done this way, because you do see some blood on some things if you go and look at the pictures. So I don't know. I think there was a better way to put evidence to get evidence back to wherever it needed to go to than to put it in the back of these pickup trucks. And I think that I mean, the defense might leave it, but is it something that the defense can use and say, you guys have it in open weather? Sure, you've got a tarp around it, but that could have been picked up in open weather, or there's no telling what the defense can use for this. Lizzo says, I'm sure they cordoned the whole area and put up a tent. Well, we do know that they did have that on hand, because the first time we did see the cleaning crew go in to clean up, they put actually a tent up around this door. They backed the truck up, put a tent up around that door so we couldn't see things coming or going. And that is how I believe as well that the bodies were taken out. All right, let's see what else we can find out through this, and then we'll get off of this one. We're not going to watch the whole thing on this one.
This crime scene to at least February 1st. That was a new document unsealed today that we learned about. And so now it's interesting to see the investigators coming back and collecting more items here at the scene when they have not been here, Vinny, for quite a while, especially after the arrest.
So, but the defense has been inside that home, right? The defense and defense and their investigator?
That's right. We, when we were here on the ground, I believe it was Tuesday, the defense attorney, the court-appointed defense attorney, public defender from Kootenai County, Ann Taylor, was here. She went into this home for quite a while. She had a defense investigator with her who spent most of the day here inside the home. So, again, the court granting them the right to stop this, to preserve this scene, so they had the opportunity to come in here, do their own investigation, preserve this so that could be complete and preserve the defendant's rights. And so they have been here even before Coburg was actually back in the state, Benny.
And one final follow-up on that. So is it clear today whether this was the removal of personal items to be, or the remediation, and they're going to clean it out for the owner to perhaps try to re-let or do whatever they're going to do with this house?
That's was one of my initial thoughts. But if you remember last Friday when the remediation or the cleanup crew was here at the home, it was a private company. These are the actual investigators. These are these crime scene investigators who were here day one, taking evidence, dusting fingerprints with the CSI crew, Vinny. So this seems like this was evidence, potential evidence taken, not just cleanup. And if we look at the, there is the mattress cover, like a white fitted sheet over the mattress, but you can see darker spots on there. Maybe this is the actual mattress. We don't know for sure, but it would be, I would think, this private company that was just for the cleanup and removing of personal items. But these are the actual people who've been there taking evidence out of the house. So that was interesting, Vinny.
Fascinating. All right, Charlie Painter, stand by. Let's bring in our investigator joining us tonight
All right,
in Madison, Mississippi.
So we're going to stop that right there. You can find that one. If you want to look at that, there's lots of stuff online, you guys, that you can find. But I thought that was important just to show again, and just some stuff that's coming out on forums and different news sites and things like that, I think it's good to remind ourselves what's the truth and what's not, because it's been over 2 years and it's easy to forget and people to make up different narratives as to what all that they saw or what they didn't see. Lizzo says we never saw them remove the bodies, right? April says they took the bodies out in the middle of the night. In my opinion, I believe that as well. And okay, so we got through all that. Let's see. All right, so here we go, Maggie. And for anybody else in the whole wide world, I think Maggie's the only person in the whole wide world who has not seen the text messages.
I've seen some of them.
All right, let's see. Every time I do that, my dogs come running because they think I'm calling them. Okay, let me stop. This is Action News 6 ABC coming out of, I don't know where. Oh, Philadelphia. Wait, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. Oh, but there were MJ is. And this was put up Thursday, March 20th, which would be today at 7:37 a.m. So that's this morning. This is being used for our fair use. We're scrolling it at the bottom of our live, and it is in our chat. Boise, Idaho. New court filings in the University of Idaho case continue to fill out the timeline of communications by two surviving roommates in the hours between four other students being killed in their house and when they called 911. The brutal killings of the four University of Idaho students, Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, took place at an off-campus residence in Moscow in 2022. Brian Koberger is charged with the murders and has pleaded not guilty and faces the death penalty in a trial that is set to begin in August. In a court filing released Wednesday, defense attorney for Koberger took issue with what they say is the state's prosecutor selective use of phone records for surviving roommates Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk on the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. They advocated for the judge to prohibit prosecutors from showing the prosecutor's selection of roommates' messages to the jury. So, yeah, it's not all, you guys. That just says it right there. We got so much more. Or for the judge to allow more phone records to be admitted at the trial so the jury can see what they call a fuller picture of what transpired. Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? So this is the defense that is saying, look, you either get rid of what the state is saying that they want to use in trial or use the whole thing. Paint the whole picture. Makes you wonder, right? CNN previously reported that phone records show Mortensen and Funk exchanged panic texts when they couldn't reach each other's housemates around the time of the investigators believed that the killings occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. Mortensen texted Funk at 4:22 saying, "No one is answering." Funk says, "Yeah, dude, what the fuck?" Mortensen then texted Funk that she saw what looked like a masked man in their house saying, "I'm freaked out." Funk later texted Mortensen's, "Come to my room, run." I don't think she said, "Come to my room." I think she said, "Come down here." The new defense filing says Funk accessed Snapchat and Instagram shortly after the text exchange and called her parents hours later. Records previously released in a motion by prosecutors suggested Mortensen renewed her efforts to reach the others in the house at 10:23 a.m. only after waking up and realizing that she had not heard from her roommates. But Koberger's attorney now say that Mortensen joined Funk in her room and their phone actively was only dark for about 3 hours. According to the defense filing, Mortensen's phone records show that she was awake earlier than prosecutors claim she woke up. The defense filing reveals a string of phone activity for Mortensen and Funk not previously made to the public. Funk and Mortensen, identified by their initials in the court documents, were both using their phones at around 8 a.m. And new defense filing claims that Funk first called her dad's phone at 7:30 a.m. The defense motion details the following call activity and social media access by roommates, picking up hours after their text exchange and Funk's last accessing Instagram at 4:37 a.m. So at 7:30, now we don't know if there was anything before. There's a 3-hour gap. Okay, we know there's a 3-hour gap. The question is there really a gap? Is there more? Maybe I don't know if they ever went to sleep. I don't know. we know there's a gap, and we know there's more text messaging going on. And this kind of upsets me that we can't see the text. Like in the first round that went out, they actually told us what the text said. I wish they'd have done it here. But this is the defense, so of course they're not gonna put it out if they don't have to, right? Because it's damning. So here we go. 7:30, Bethany calls her dad. At 8 o'clock, Bethany calls her dad. Now, I believe that the first time she didn't get through, that's why she calls back. At 8 o'clock again, I guess right after that one, when she didn't get through to her dad, I'm taking it that Bethany calls another number. At 8:01, thinking that she didn't get that number either, Bethany calls home. At 8:02, I guess nobody's answering, you guys. Bethany calls her mom. And I think when she says she called her dad, and then she calls home, and then she calls her mom, she's talking about two cell phones being her dad's cell phone, her mom's cell phone, and then actually calls home being maybe a house phone, I guess. At 8:09, so I don't know if Bethany ever got in touch with her mom, because now there's a 7-minute difference here. At 8:09, Bethany calls her dad. At 8:05, 43 to 10 o'clock 45, DM is on Instagram. At 8:41 to 8:42, BF takes photos. Now this says photos, but of what? We don't know. I want to know. What the hell what are we taking selfies? At 9:04:36, mom texts BF at 10 o'clock 56 seconds to 10:01 40 seconds. DM messages incoming and outgoing Snapchat. So what does that mean? BF at 10 o'clock to 10:01 DM messages. Does that mean both of them did? I can't tell. It says BF at 10 o'clock to 10:01 DM messages incoming and outgoing Snapchat. I don't know if that means both of them were on Snapchat. Maybe they were messaging. Yeah, because like I said, they don't do text messages anymore, you guys. They all use these. At 10:01 to 10:03, DMs on Instagram. Damn. At 10:03 to 10:04, DM is on Indeed. I've never heard about Indeed. I'm going to look it up. At 10:04 to 10:23, now this is a lot that's going on, you guys. This is actually almost 20 minutes. This is 19 minutes that DM messages incoming and outgoing Snapchats. That's 19 minutes that she was on Snapchat. I mean, and you know those kids' fingers, and thumbs work like nobody's business. In a motion, Koberger's attorneys dispute the prosecution's claims that Mortensen woke up to realize her roommates hadn't been responding to her text overnight. Mortensen tried again to reach Goncalves and Mogan starting at 10:23 a.m., asking them if they are up. In a new defense filing, says Mortensen used Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok and texted her dad hours before she reached out to Mogan and Goncalves again. At 10:23, DM text Maddie Mogan. At 10:24, DMs on Instagram again for a minute. At 10:30 to 10:45, now this is 15 minutes, you guys. DM messages, incoming and outgoing Snapchats. So that's another 15 minutes. Y'all, this is, Lindley's right. This is exactly how other students found out about, not necessarily, now the students that we heard on like 48 hours and stuff, they said, well, we knew about the murders before the vandal alert went out and before the 911 call went out. It's not necessarily that they knew about the murders, because supposedly these girls had not gone in to find Xana or Ethan or gone upstairs, which I don't believe they did. But they did find out something was going on at the house, that they were freaked out. Can't hear you, honey. Can't hear you.
They could have been texting the friends saying, we're trying to get in touch with Kaylee, and they can't get an answer. They're not answering us.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So Kaylee's, Dylan Mortensen is back doing incoming and outgoing Snapchats at 11:21. JM texts BF. Now, I don't know who JM is, to be sure, and I don't think anybody else does, to be sure. No.
Maybe she's texting him to.
I don't think Jack's last name is an M. Some people have said
there's 2 Jacks, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 2 Jacks. One of them is actually there's 3 Jacks if you count Hunter as being a Jack, but I don't think their name ends in M. Some people say that it is Dylan Mortensen's dad. Some people say that it is Julie somebody or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. At 10:56 to 11:29, DMs on Instagram and messages on Snapchat. So there is another over 30 minutes, you guys, right? 56 to 29. Yeah. It's crazy. At 11:29, DM text KG. That's Kaylee. At 11:29 to 11:32, which is 3 minutes, DM is back on Instagram and messaging on Snapchat. At 11:35, DM is now on Yik Yak. We went over Yik Yak before. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's a college, it's a school app that you can use if you are within 5 miles of that school. On 11:36, DM is now on TikTok. At 11:37, DM messages on Snapchat again. On 11:39 to 11:40, DM and dad text. That's only 1 minute of text, so who knows? At 11:49, Bethany calls JM again. See, that's why I don't think this JM would be Dylan's father, because why would he be texting Bethany? Yeah, I just don't see him texting, getting in touch with Bethany before he gets in touch with his daughter. Who knows? At 11:50, JM, I think it's a friend. JM texts DM. At 11:44 to 11:50, DM is on Instagram again. At 11:50, DM calls EA. We know who EA is. That's Emily, the neighbor next door. That's Hunter's girlfriend, Hunter Jack's girlfriend. At 11:51, JM texts Dylan Mortensen. At 11:54, JM texts Bethany 3 texts. At 11:54, DMs on Instagram. Funk eventually calls 911 at 11:56. Wait a minute. To report Kernodle unconscious at the residence, records show and 2 other friends could be heard with them on the call. A transcript of the surviving roommate's 911 call was released with a filing earlier this month. The transcript shows the chaos as Mortensen and Funk pass the phone between them, answering the dispatcher in a fragmented response. The transcript does not identify the speakers by name, but shows another unnamed friend with them also spoke to the dispatcher. Heavy breathing and crying can be heard throughout the call. CNN obtained an audio recording of the call after the transcript was released. Prosecutors have indicated that they expect both surviving roommates to testify at trial and want to use their text messages to illustrate the timeline of the night. Defense attorney Ann Taylor has pointed to what she describes as inconsistencies in law enforcement interviews with Mortensen and Funk. In the latest defense filing, Koberger's attorney calls into question why the surviving roommate did not call 911 sooner. Despite her stated fear of leaving her room, she does so and joins BF downstairs. To get to BF bedroom, DM passed the front door of the residence. That's true. But I mean, she watched him walk outside, you guys. I got to give a little bit of grace here. She did watch the man walk outside, so he could still be outside. I would not have gone outside. I just would think, hopefully, I would call the police. BF was steps away from the front door. Neither of them left the house. Neither of them called friends, family, or law enforcement for help, the filing claims. The defense brief was among dozens of court filings released Wednesday as the parties make their cases to the judge about what should and shouldn't be admissible evidence at trial. In another defense filing released in the Tranch, I don't know what that is. Koberger's attorney says many alternative perpetrators can be connected to the crime, and they have evidence they want to show in court. Well, let's do it. Prosecutors plan to call law enforcement witnesses to testify about a test they conducted to show that it was possible to commit 4 homicides in the timeline framed of only minutes, including time to walk to and from the car and remove blood-covered clothes, a defense filing says. Koberger's attorneys say they need an expert to testify about his developmental coordination disorder to show the jury he was not physically capable of committing the crime that they argue required such speed and coordination. So there you go. Maggie, can you jump in? Maggie, you got something in your mouth right now? Are you hungry? You eating?
Hello. Sorry, I was wrapping parcels to return stuff. Sorry, how
It's
much
okay. Will you do me a favor? Jump in chat really quick because I need to look something up that it just hit me when I was reading
okay,
that.
go on. I'm just looking here now. Hang on. What I can't understand is why didn't they say that they seen a man in the house? Mention anything? I know you say there's always men in an house and lads and whatever, but to just say it was a bit weird and a scene, we were terrified and we heard noises and
No, they did. They did on the 911 call.
Yeah, but
So
why didn't they when they were texting the dad and the mum?
I mean, they
Didn't
may
say
have.
we're
We don't have.
worried?
We
Yeah,
don't
true,
have the
we don't
text.
know.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to butt in.
Go on, love.
No, you go. I'm looking this up really quick.
Let's see. I see YouTube has blocked a couple of my comments. JB saying it blocked me saying I would spend the night with him and cuff him to the floor and get the truth. Oh my god! It's thinking my words out. Says use different words. I'm like, what have I said? So Mary Jane says, I think they might be used to having people in and out of the house and not knowing if they're there for the roommates, maybe. Just with them being scared, frightened, you know what I mean? That they were obviously terrified they'd seen this fella and that hadn't happened before, has it? But like Leni says, maybe it was mentioned, it's just we don't know about it yet. So obviously it's different than seeing the others in and out of the house because, as I say, they were terrified. Lulu, Melly Joe in what's that? I'm about to take some aspirin. Have head spins too. I'm really not enjoying being this age. My cousin says it goes for 10 years or more, may I just ask? And men have it so much easier than us fuckers, telling you. Didn't even know Mel was in here, but you know what? I haven't been looking at the screen. I've been listening to Leni and wrapping stuff I've got to return being away. I'm going to be late with it. If I don't return it now, I'll lose my money. So that's what I've been doing because they've got to go to the post office tomorrow. Hang on. Oh, why did she not mention the total bloodbath? But what I said before is, would it be a case of the girls didn't see any blood? I know the lads didn't, they were on the phone, but maybe they didn't want to mention that because the girls were there and they didn't want the girls to know. And it didn't, I mean, I don't know why they didn't say, look, they're not collapsed, they're dead. Or did he want the girls to think they were unconscious? I've no clue. It's to me, it's like he didn't want to know. He didn't want the girls to know the truth, and that's why he wasn't saying anything. So when the woman was saying, "Are they breathing?" and he's going, "No, no," I mean, it tells you they're not unconscious.
Yeah, like
So
he just didn't want to come out and
he
say
just
it. He
didn't
was
want
just
to
like,
say
no.
the dead, basically. Obviously he knows the dead. He's been in the room and seen, oh God,
I
like
don't
Lizzo said,
remember.
proper.
I don't remember where I heard this because I was up all night long last night, switching living rooms around, cleaning, doing what I do. It was so fun.
Mhm.
And I saw somewhere out of all the stuff that I was watching that I think it was Brian Enton who said that one of Dylan's people, somebody who knew the girls that lived in that house, said that Dylan had told them that she thought Xana had overdosed.
Yeah, so maybe when he was saying you were unconscious and she knew she'd been drinking the night before and was drunk and that's what she thought. That's the only thing I can think of, Lee. He just didn't mention it for that reason.
Mary Jane, I will say this. Now, I don't know. I think there had to be a bloodbath, but
Yeah.
if Ethan was on the bed, and we know Maddie and Kaylee were on the bed, the beds soaked up a lot of the blood, or probably took all of it, except for the splashes and the splatter and all of that, and also what seeped out of Xana's bedroom. That was an old house. You guys saw how it was situated. It was not straight. I believe that the blood seeped down. It was on an incline of sorts. If you put a ball on your floor, you know how to roll to one end, because the floor's not straight. I believe that's what it was. And I also heard a crime scene detective said that from what it sounds like to him, the blood was had stayed in the same area. So, yes, there would have been, blood marks on things, like I don't want to get too graphic, but splatter of blood and things like that are going to be found on other stuff. But if three of them are in a bed, and even if they bled out, that's going to take up most of it. Now, I have a problem with them. I looked at the house again. I brought back up the house. Pictures of the outside, around it. I watched somebody walk around it with a video camera. And I was trying to figure out, all right, which part of this house was built first? Because you can see that the house has been added onto. Well, by the way that it was taken down, to me, it looked like it looked like the bottom two floors were the first part of the house that was built, and then they added on the third story in the back. That's what it looked like to me, just from the pictures and stuff. I'm wondering, because of the way that the house was. Now, I'm sorry, I just believe if Dylan heard, and she said, I heard some crying coming out of Xana's room, then she had to have heard other stuff. And she said, I heard what sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog, which I take to mean when there's a fight going on upstairs, right? Like he's fighting with Kaylee. And that's that. And there had to have been screaming. I don't know. I don't understand it. On 1 minute, I'm like, was the house so different on the different 3 floors and maybe done just right that you wouldn't hear everything? But if she heard them bouncing around upstairs, thinking Murphy and Kaylee were playing, you had to hear the screams. And if she heard Xana crying, you had to hear the screams. And if you heard a man's voice say, It's okay. I'm here to help you. You had to hear the screams. I don't know. I mean, I'm not victim blaming. I'm not trying to at all. I do not think for 1 minute that the surviving roommates had anything to do with these murders. I don't. Do I think that that's what the defense is going to use? Yes, I do
Yeah, I
think
don't
that.
believe it either.
I don't think they had anything to do with it. I don't understand that level of fear or drunkenness or whatever else was in their system. I don't understand that level that you are able to Snapchat and chat and talk on the phone and tell another roommate I'm really freaked out, but you are too inebriated or scared to call the police. I don't understand that, and I probably will never understand that because I've never known that type of fear. But what's there to be afraid of? What are the police going to come in and kill you too? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me as well. But then I also think, and maybe some of you will hate me for this kind of thinking, does it really matter in the whole scheme of things? If the girls were not involved, and I don't believe them to be involved, if Dylan would have called the police even before she talked to Bethany, would she have saved a life? No. Mary Jane says kids get scared of getting caught when they're wasted. Right. And the police were already there. The police told them the last time 3 weeks prior to the murders. Was it? Yeah, 3 weeks, 3 months, something like that prior to the murders. That the next time they got called out for noise, they were going to tell their sorority. And that's a big deal to them. Liza says, no, I don't. But I do think they're going to be crucified because no matter how you look at it, they could have got police there. Right. Lulu says, I had a collapsed lung once after surgery. I wanted to call an ambulance, but couldn't even whimper. My parents were visiting in the van. I had to tap on the van to wake as I couldn't make a noise. Wow. Well, and I could see that. I mean, who knows if Xana was, if he did take the route of going into Xana's bedroom first and thinking that he killed them too, and then went upstairs and came back down and heard Xana whimpering, would you be whimpering unless she took some damage to her neck, or to her chest, and she did have a punctured lung and couldn't make any more than a quiet whimpering sound. And Miss Barbara says, but like you said, you can't scream when you're petrified. That's right. I can't. I freeze. I can't move. I can barely breathe. I don't think I am breathing. It just doesn't last that long. I think at some point I would come to my senses within 8 hours. So what I'm trying to do is just walk away from that, right? This is after today. This is what I thought. Like, it's part of the crime, and we're not going to totally get away from it. We're gonna, if they bring out more of the text messages or lets us see what was in the text messages, or it's worth looking into because maybe we can find some more insight. But I think we have got the time frame down pat, according to the car coming and going from the scene. I personally think they have the right guy behind bars, and I'm going to try to prove that next week on Wednesday. Why I would say right now that I find him guilty. And for whatever reason was going on with the girls, they're not responsible for these deaths or this crime in my book. Sigma Chi is not. No guy he got into a fight with. None of that. I believe that it was Brian Koberger. And in the grand scheme of things, whatever happened that night between Bethany and all the friends um, and Dylan, I think the girls were scared out of their minds, and they were just maybe wanting somebody to come over. And maybe Bethany didn't, maybe Bethany was like, chill, girl, chill. Like, just chill. I don't know. But we know that Dylan was frantic, and I believe she remained frantic, and maybe because she thought she was going to be in trouble for the underage drinking and all that, and for maybe substance they would find in the house, that she would rather her friends come over. And the first people that she got in touch with was Hunter, Jack, and Emily. It's possible. And I absolutely do think that they passed out, went to sleep, whatever. I think maybe they just consoled. Maybe Bethany was just like, look, we need to just go to sleep. Maybe it's a bad dream. Maybe somebody's playing a trick on us. I mean, Steve and Calva said that Kaylee was known for playing tricks. Ethan, they all did it to each other. Shit, my husband does it all the time, pisses me off. But anyways, maybe Bethany was like, look, it's just them. In the morning, everything's going to look better. You're wasted. I'm wasted. Let's just go to sleep. Who knows? We don't know. But I choose to, there is no evidence pointing in any direction that the girls had anything to do with the murders. And I choose to give them grace over whatever happened. I choose. I really do. And I think that maybe if you just look at that way until, I don't think we're going to get any answers except for when it comes out of her mouth. Why? Because those questions are going to be asked. Why didn't you just call the fucking police? What is wrong with you? Until we hear what comes out of her mouth, maybe we're not going to be so understanding. So I have to either let myself go crazy with it, or I have to just say, this is one part of this that I'm not going to figure out. That we're not going to collectively figure out together, because there's no way to. All we can do is sit and speculate what could have happened for those hours, right? We have nothing to go on. And until we do, I think it's just, I think the girls literally, I think DM was adamant that what she saw wasn't right, and she just wanted someone to come and check. That way, if it was just a prank or whatever, then the police didn't have to be involved and they wouldn't have gotten in any trouble. So, what says you, Maggie? I know you're rapping. Lunch Lady says, I really think the 911 call we heard is not in the correct order. When we get to hear it appropriately, it will make a big difference. I agree.
I agree with you, Lee. Everything you said. I don't think Gail has anything to do with it at all.
Miss Barbara says, I think they were more than just drunk. Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
They may have had drugs of some kind and booze, and I think that changes things. Lizzo says, I want to know why, if they were using the camera from Linda Lane to show his car, then why are they not taking into account the earlier footage from that camera? You're talking about where you see the people walking in and I've thought about that. Because that's not the only footage that's on that camera. There's on any of the cameras. They've got a lot of cameras. And I've thought about that. And here's what I think. And I've always said, the police are much smarter than I'll ever be. They are. They're just. I've got good sense, and I can think pretty well. But they're going to be smarter. So if I and you sit and say, why didn't you take into account that somebody was arguing outside of that camera on the same night they've got him on the car? And I mean, I would think that they've already investigated it and that it doesn't have anything to do with the crime. Just like people say, oh, there were 2 white Alondras. Were there? And you don't think the police investigated all the white Alondras? I'm just sorry. I just think that they're better than that. I don't think they set out. I don't think anybody was carrying a knife sheath around waiting for the perfect opportunity to frame Brian Kohberger. I just don't. And I have to believe that, and this just wasn't the Moscow police, you guys. State police were in there. Other city police came in. State police came in. The FBI came in. This wasn't just Moscow that did this. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They did it right. They called in the bigwigs and they said, look, we're over our heads here. They did it right. So I'm sorry, with that many law enforcement agencies involved and that many men and women in uniform, I just would think that somebody covered all of the tape for that whole day or night or whatever and figured out what was in the crime scene and what wasn't. And they figured out who it was that was arguing and they interviewed him. I'm sorry, I believe that way. I could be wrong, but I do. I believe that. Barbara Smith, yeah, I know when I was younger, after partying, I saw and heard things that I wasn't sure were real. Even weed can make you paranoid and unsure of what's happening. Yeah, what says you, Max? Give me something. Maggie's like, I'm just trying to wrap presents, people, and be entertained. That's it.
Sorry, Gail.
It's okay.
I was writing addresses.
It's okay. Can you guys do us a big favor? Please hit the like. Please, please, please. I'd appreciate it so much. Go ahead, Max.
Can I just finish doing just these addresses, please?
No, negative. Yes, of course you can. Of course you can. Any questions in chat that we could talk about? Anybody want to come up? Lizzo, Lizzo has been burning the midnight. Listen, Lizzo's been having dates with Kohberger. Lunch lady. They're hanging out with Kohberger. I think more than I am. April said, I would hope LE was diligent and knows much more than we do. I think, yeah. And I think we're finding that out. I really do. I think just the little things that are getting put out now, we're finding out, well, damn, we didn't know about that. Well, damn, good work. I think it's just like that. I think he is guilty as shit, but I worry that there are so many what ifs, etc., that they won't be able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, especially in light of the death penalty. And that's what why am I thinking of him? Shouldn't be thinking of that dude. That's what somebody said in chat. He thinks that it's going to be a hung jury, and it very well could be. But we're gonna Wednesday, Kohberger Wednesday. I'm gonna deep dive this and go back and hopefully have gotten through all of. Listen, can I just yell out at Idaho Sunshine? Let your people know, don't drop any more documents because y'all, one of those documents is 151 pages. It's a lot. And the thing with documents is you almost got to read between the lines sometimes. And you got to pick up things that they're saying. So it's like a read over and over. Wait, what did I just read? Did I just read that? That's the way it goes. So I'm going to go back through the documents and I've got a list already of things that, and Taylor's been trying to get thrown out of court and stuff. And let's just go over what all we see that they are trying to charge him or going to use in court, that all signs point to him being guilty because of these things. And I just want to know, at what point are you like, okay, for fuck's sake? I mean, nobody's this lucky. Nobody's this unlucky to have, okay, you're the one guy who happened to buy a knife sheath, a knife, a sharpener to sharpen the knife, a sheath. You're the only guy within the vicinity of so far from these murders that bought a knife sheath of the same exact knife that they don't even have that we know of, that they said is saying that killed these students. There's that, right? Oh my God, what sour luck, right? Oh my God, you happen to drive a white Elantra without plates on the front? How unlucky could you get? They've got it on. Someone's driving that car that looks exactly like yours without license plate on the front, where it is a law to have a license plate on the front, and you drive that too. Oh, and you bought the knife sheath. Oh, and the knife and the sharpener. Oh, oh God. And how the hell did you have, was there a K-bar knife sheath found under a dead body with your DNA on it? And you've never been in that house, and you drive a car that looks just like what's on video without a front license plate. And a couple months before these murders, you happen to buy a knife, a sharpener, and a knife sheath that is just like the weapon. Should I keep going? Y'all got me, right? So when we go down all this next Wednesday, I want to know, at what part are you going to stop me and say it's enough? Nobody is that unlucky. There's no such thing as that much coincidence. Because I was tired by the time I said the second thing, the car. I was tired of hearing my mouth. Hey, Joyce. There will be a breaking point. Y'all, I would be great at this shit. Because I would be sarcastic and facetious. The judges would hate me and tell me to shut up. Maggie does. I mean, I would be making people laugh their asses off in court because that's exactly how I would present it. Seriously. I'd be like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, Koberger. You want me to believe that? How about this? I'm supposed to believe that too. Oh, and that? I'm supposed to believe that. Oh, and that. Golly! You might as well just kill yourself now. You're a really unlucky dude. Lots of circumstantial evidence along with DNA, right? Along with DNA. And I would not be surprised at all if they've got more DNA. We don't know. Just because they don't say it doesn't mean they don't have it. We found that out really quick. Yeah. Listen, will you guys do me a favor and hit the like button? Thank you guys so much. If those kids were tripping, they definitely weren't calling the cops for nothing. Right, Mary Jane Doe? That's what I believe too. Chat GPT will surmise them for you. I don't know what Chat GPT is. I'm sorry, I was looking for something really, really quick. After the first day, Leanie is held in contempt. Shut up, Leanie, or you're going to be held in contempt. Fuck you and fuck you and fuck all y'all. That's it. I'm going to jail. Because that's what I would say. Somebody tells me to shut up. Not for real. I think I could hold it down. I do think I could hold it down for like, not the whole, because they're saying this case is going to be like 3 months, the court trial. It's going to be like 3 months. I couldn't. I'd lose my cool. I'd roll my eyes. I'd whisper something under my breath. I'd be flipping them off under the table. I know me, but I think maybe for a good 2 solid days, I'd be able to be professional. For real. I do. I think a two, maybe even a week.
I would pay a lot of money to see that.
I'm just letting you, I think maybe, okay, maybe not a week. Let's cut it down the middle. I think for 3 days, I could go without flipping somebody off, doing anything facetious. I think I would wear, I would make sure to have prescription sunglasses on that get dark when there's so much light in the room so you can't see me rolling my eyes, because there's a problem with that. And or my mouth dropping open like you're kidding. No, I think for 3 days
We'll
I
be
could
throwing
be,
our hands over our eyes. Don't
yeah,
do it, Leanie. Don't do it.
but I think I could for like I really couldn't do a whole week. But for like 3 days, I feel like I could fake it really good. And then I'd be like, fuck you guys. You're fucking idiots. Who are you? It would be terrible. I'd be I think I'd be good, but then I realized, no, you wouldn't be. I can't because I can't work for places that have a what do you call them? I always tell Beefcake that HR. I've never worked anywhere that had an HR because of my mouth. I'd be in HR's office and fired all the time because I don't do stuff very well. So I've always worked at places that I can get away with the shit I need to
You
get
don't,
away with.
boss.
Pretty much, yeah. And if not, then the boss just learned who was the boss really fast.
Or it's your son.
And now it's my son, right? Nobody else will hire
Yeah.
me. Word's got out. But even he won't work with me. He's just like, go do this, go do this. Like, we could hang out together. It's like, no, no, no. Actually, he did put me on a call with his somebody accountant or somebody else. But he said,
He was
Mom,
brave.
he said, I need you to be professional because nobody knows I'm his mom, right? So he calls me my name on the phone. And there's a couple people that are just really, really close to him. But most everybody doesn't know I'm his mom. And he's like, I really need you. This is like really professional. So don't say nothing. I was like, then why am I on the call? If I can't say anything, he's like, just don't try to be funny or watch your mouth, like you have some decorum. And I had to look, I knew what the word was, but I wished I didn't. So I could have said, what's decorum or something like that, but I knew what it meant. Anyways, I was really good though. But it was only like a 10-minute call and I was kind of quiet. I was like, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much. But I was really, really good. So
Very good. Very good.
All right. I could not deal with the pain of the parents in that courtroom. That guts me. Yes. Oh God. Oh, I would love to object. Wouldn't you love to object, Maggie? I object.
Terrified.
Oh, I would love to tell Ann
Yeah,
Taylor
okay,
I object.
okay, thank you. I'll sit down.
I'd be like, look at here, Blondie. Look at here, bottle blonde. See this right here, all natural. I object, bitch. Okay, Your Honor, honorable, Mr. Honorable. Can you check the bottle bleach bitch over here and let her know that is unacceptable in this court of law, sir? Leanie, you're going to jail. Yes, sir. Bye.
Bye.
Mute her mic, Your Honor.
Oh.
Kill the mic. Kill the mic. Oh, God. Oh,
I'm
it
not
would
being
be
a bit
fun, though.
good to you tonight, but I'm going to have to love you and leave you because it's
I'm
getting
gonna
late.
love and leave too. I'm done. I'm done. We did 3 hours. That's good.
Oh my
I try to
God,
keep
is
it
it?
between. Yeah, I try to keep it between 3 and 3.5 hours. So if anybody wants to watch replay, they can put it on 1.5 speed and be done with it in an hour and a half.
God, that's
So,
gone over that.
yeah. All right. Maggie, I'm gonna let you shut it down. You opened it up. I'm gonna say thank you to all the mods so much for keeping our chat lovely, healthy, kind, just fun to be in. And I mean, seriously, I say that almost every time. I kind of panicked the other night because I didn't say it. I was like, oh my God, I didn't think the mods, and I didn't think the chatters. But see,
It was like that
I,
yesterday
I,
for my birthday.
I think
Terrified
about
if I
that stuff
hadn't
all the time.
thanked.
So, anyways, mods, really, you're my heart. Thank you so much. To the chatters, we don't have a channel without you, and that's the God's honest truth. So, thank you for being here. Thank you if you are a sub to this channel. If you are a member to this channel, thank you so much for helping pay the bills around here to keep this bitch going. And most of all, to Mags, I love you so much, and
Love you,
thank
girl.
you for the journey. And hey, you guys, thanks so much for being interested with this. So I'm not the crazy loony by myself. I appreciate that so much. All right, love you guys so much. Y'all be good or be good at it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Love you, Lee. Speak to you soon. Guys, I'm sorry I've been a bit away from it tonight, haven't I? I've
Wait,
been wrapping these. I need to. What?
I,
Oh, do you want me to
I
take it
forgot.
off?
I forgot to thank the donut guy for giving a
Oh,
super
go on.
chat. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
yeah,
giving the
thanks.
super chat.
Thanks so much.
We
That's really
appreciate you so
kind.
much.
£10.
All right,
Is he from the UK? Well, he must be £10.
you must be out. Bye.
Oh, bye, girl. Yeah, so I apologise. I'm wrapping parcels up if I don't get them done and send them by tomorrow. They'll be murder. They'll be murder. We've got to get them done. So I'm bending down to this laptop because I've got it on the stool here. And every time I bend down, my earphones is coming off. Oh God. Hi, Lulu. Good night, JB. Lunch lady, Lulu. Where's Mel? I can't see Mel. Good night, Liz. Liz, as soon as I get upstairs, I'm going to go and check your post out. I did go to read it before. I went to Messenger, what you'd sent me, clicked on it, but then I was doing things for Leanie, so I couldn't carry on. So just in case you think I've clicked on it and I haven't even done anything, I will do as soon as I get up the stairs, loving into bed. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for yesterday. I had a really good time. I really did. The whole day went amazing. I was spoilt rotten. Good night, April. Good night, Miss Barbara. Who else is here? Good night, Joyce. Mary Jane. Good night, love. I think I've said good night to everyone in here, have I? God, don't let me forget anyone. Good night, everyone, anyway, that's in the chat. If I've missed you, please don't think that I'm being horrible. I'm not. I'm trying to rush and get this done. I will do it though, Liz. I can't wait to read because I haven't seen it. I clicked on it and never even got to look. Good night and God bless everyone. Have a good day if it's your daytime. What's that? Wrapping her birthday presents December. If only you knew. No, I'm not. I'm not. I got all good Christmas presents. Oh my God, I got all birthday presents. They were so nice. Yeah, I'll have to open. I haven't opened half of them, like, but I do know what they are. So I'll let you know what I got soon. Good night and God bless everyone. Have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. May the sun shine on your back.